Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Trophy Hoarders podcast. I am Leon, also known under the alias of Deathroff, and also joining me, well, not joining me, he is here. He's the co-host. He is also part of the
Co-host.
furniture.
Yeah.
Yeah, co-host. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, Chris Costromo on online. And let's do it. Trophy Hoarders podcast. Episode 1, the inaugural episode.
Yeah, I think it'll like I said to you last night when we was planning things. It's a bit like the first pancake. It's probably going to be a bit bad, but we can only get better, right?
It's
We
gonna
can
be
only get
horrible.
better.
It's gonna be horrible. How many subs we on? Like 6 as of recording. We'll have
Yeah,
like
I
2
mean, I
left
could.
of posting it. It'll just be me and you
Yeah, yeah. We'll
podding
just
in the
be.
fort.
We'll gotta be our biggest fans, you know. I
That's
feel
it.
sorry for the 6 people probably watching and tuning in, but
Listen, it
whoops,
can only go up from here.
it can only go up. Super exciting though. But what is the reason for us dedicating our precious time to making a podcast then? Why are we here?
Uh, I like talking about video games. We talk about video games. We've been in chats before, and it's like, mate, people will listen to us. You know what I mean? I hope
Honestly,
people will
people,
listen. If people listen to the Huck Tour podcast, they've got to listen to us.
is that actually a thing? I thought that was just a
No,
meme.
mate, that's a talk tour is what it's called.
Really? Oh
Yeah,
wow. I mean, fair play to her. She's doing bits, not
I get
those kind of
famous for
bits,
saying
but
that she spits on a. You know, I keep my sense on myself for these opening minutes.
yeah, you're gonna have to bleep that already. How long's it
Yeah,
been?
2 minutes. 2
2 minutes. Yeah.
minutes
Well,
in. I never
you
said the
may be
word though.
safe.
YouTube. I never said it.
Yeah, but
I
you
never
did
said what she
insinuate it.
spits on. You know,
Just that thing.
no, she just spits on the fucking petrol thing before she puts it in the car. That's that.
Have you seen it? Like primarily, I've only seen it from The Walking Dead. But when they're trying to get like gasoline or petrol in the UK, and they like put like a hose pipe and they pierce a hole in it and they like suck up,
Oh, yeah.
and like you got to be really careful because obviously you don't want to swallow like
Yeah, I don't
petrol.
know if you can do that anymore with new cars. I'm pretty sure it's got, is
Can
it
you
like a
not?
siphon, anti-siphon or something like that?
Oh, that's it. It's like yeah.
Yeah, the siphon pit. I don't think you can do that with new cars. I mean, new
Oh,
cars as in like for 2009 or something like that. I don't think you can do that anymore. But they do
good
it in
thing
all
the
the,
apocalypse
yeah, they
happened
do it in
in
all the apocalypse
2008.
movies.
I know it's jokes because it
Mate, The
started
Walking
whenever it
Dead,
did.
The Walking Dead, when did that release? Like 2010 or some shit?
I think it
And
was 2010.
they've got 2021 Hyundais and stuff like
Yeah,
that cutting about.
that's that's what I was about to say. Like the 2013, like 3 years later, like a really modern hybrid car. Just see Shane driving it. I'm like, when
Where did
did
you
you
get
build
that,
that
mate?
yourself?
Stole it for
Literally.
the plant.
All right, then, good stuff. So this podcast is essentially going to be a bit of everything. As we've said, we both love just yapping on about games and just random things, and we do bounce off each other quite well, just from sort of like offline conversations. So what better to stick a recording and just capture us in our natural habitats? So we both want it to be. I don't want to say informal, but I want it like I'm not speaking for
Mer
you here. Do
chill.
chime in. But like we do want, like, we're very chilled people, so we don't, you know, what am I trying to say here? We're just chill guys. We
You
just
kind
like to
of you just
talk.
want it to flow a bit,
Yeah, so we will be
heavily
covering.
scripted.
We will
There's
be
like
covering like
dockets. We've got a
news.
docket like points we want to touch on, but
Yeah, of course.
how we get there
So
is another issue.
of course. So I think we should continue with the introductions then. I guess just laying more of a foundation of we are both YouTubers, right? So we do content creation. So that's probably a good place to start, and that's probably as much as people really need to know. To be honest, we do have to live our kind of Batman hidden personal identities as well. They've
Yeah,
got the first names, but that's all they're getting.
that's all they're getting. Unless they watch any of my old videos, I've got my full name. It's my PSN, so that was a bit of a
Oh,
fuck up when I
really?
was younger. Yeah, I don't know why. See, when I was younger, I thought like everybody had like their own like hidden names and stuff like that.
Mm.
I was like, I'll just put my full name and my Yahoo, my email, Twitter, everything. I don't give a fuck. Wasn't the smartest thing, but we done it.
I was in complete opposite. It was like always fake names. Like I used like Seth, like shortened down from Sephiroth from Final Fantasy for so long. Like, I
Mm.
just love the name Seth. It was like a lot of my friends did the same thing, but now that they've like I don't know, they kind of like missed the generation for a bit, sold their consoles, and then got next gen, and then they started using real names again for like
Mm.
their like PSN IDs. I've just stuck it out with Deathroff. It's,
So did they miss the PS4 generation?
kind of a little bit, like I don't know how to put it. Like they had it at the start, it kind of dropped off for a bit, and then they picked like back up, sort of
I feel like a lot of people done
towards
that.
like
See it like uni and stuff like that. It's like they just kind of
yeah,
dropped it.
that's what I mean. So like that was what the end of PS4, sort of moving into PS5. So they were there for probably like a good portion of like when GTA 5 was like really relevant with like playlist racing and stuff. But yeah, sort of the latter years of it started to fall off a little bit, and people just started
PS4's
changing
one
their
of the
names.
best generations as well, I'd say.
Honestly, it was. So
PS5 generation's been a bit, but
it has been, but the loading times are beautiful.
loading times are Miles Morales when you play the PS5 version. It's just instant. You're like, oh, what is going on here? This is some black magic.
Could you imagine just playing games back in the day, like just instant transition into the scenes?
Mate, I remember, see, when I bought Metal Gear Solid 4 on the PS3, and I was like so buzzing to play it, and I stuck it in, and it legit took like half an hour to install, and the loading screen's just snake smoking, and it's like smoking is not cool, smoking is dangerous. Just this old guy looking cool as fuck.
That's quite
smoking, you know. Need to bleep that, I fucked up already. There's two.
Yeah, we're promoting swear words and also smoking. Don't smoke,
and
but
smoke.
vape. Just vape, that's
Just
fine, right?
vape.
There's been no health problems linked to vaping. Of course, I'm joking, and if you are a child, one shouldn't be listening, and two, don't vape. It's bad.
Have you seen that new sponsor that people are like advertising?
Is it a
Fume?
vape?
No, it's like it's better for you than a vape, but it is a vape. It's the same fucking thing.
Oh,
Mate.
I was gonna say I saw a YouTuber completely unrelated to gaming. He's like a paranormal like debunker and does paranormal stuff, and he was like last year sponsored by a vape thing, but it was like the proper like
The
oil
big daddy things.
Yeah, like the actual like I'm actually quitting smoking. I'm not going to the corner shop to buy a fake vape. Like it was like serious stuff.
There's no rainbow colours on this one. It's
No.
just jet black with glass.
Yeah, literally. Like I'm pretty sure the vape was probably cigarette flavour as well. For the purists.
Just straight nicotine.
Yeah. Anyway, we're both YouTubers. Welcome.
Jesus, where have we went wrong already?
This has been a ride, and it's only been about 10 minutes or 5 minutes.
Do we just start over?
Never. We want to give raw
Full
content.
sends.
Yeah, full sends only. So, I do platinum trophy content on my channel. I also kind of dabble into almost video essays if I've got a good topic to talk about. But you'll probably find me chilling within the platinum community, and that's how we both met each other actually. Because if you're listening to this as a trophy hunter, platinum hunter, whatever region of gaming you're in, I think you can kind of relate of how like close knit the community is and like how like-minded and really nice people are. I've thankfully not met anybody bad within the community or got scammed in like a boosting session for a platinum. I know you've had some experiences.
I've had some brutal experiences on Battlefield 3, man. Just horrible. But it's one of the ones where it's like there's always like two sides to it, because it's like Battlefield 3 was a pain, but Tomb Raider, the definitive edition on the PS4, was it 2013 when they rebooted it? Done the online trophies for that, and mate, that was just like an amazing wee group that we made. And it's like that group chat is still, it's not active, but it's still there. And like every Christmas, every New Year, boom, they send the messages in, and I'm like, I forgot this thing even existed. Just send, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year every single year. Still going strong.
That's super cute.
How
many people was?
I think it's 6 or 7, isn't it?
I was gonna say, I'd say with modern like boosting like modern gaming sessions, like I'm in so many, but it's like upwards of 20 people. It's like you almost can't form, I don't want to say relationships with people, but it's a lot harder to have a good lot like that.
Yeah, that Battlefield 3 one that I'm in is got 100 people in it. It's like max capacity.
Jesus.
And it's like everybody that I don't know the DLC with is already left, and they've already been replaced, and I'm like, I don't know any of these people.
Feels like your first day in school.
Exactly.
Trying to make it.
Just trying to find somebody to hang on to. Will you adopt me, please? Look after me.
Has anybody got a microphone? So many people don't even. I'm not hating on people that don't speak in boosting sessions, but it gets things done a lot easier than having to type
so
out a
much
message.
easier.
Like, you can literally just
See,
be
even
like,
if-
right, stand, don't shoot.
Yes, even if you don't want to talk, just listen.
Yeah. Listen, that makes life easier.
So much easier to communicate.
So we both do platinum and trophy content. Do you do any other content outside of that, or is it just the platinum realm that you're in?
Nah, just platinum trophies. I do Xbox every once in a while. I've done Assassin's Creed. There's a few in the future that I might do that are Xbox. I want to go into PC, but I'm kind of just, mate, I've got like so many ideas. I'm like, that's a long way away. But pretty much just that. I wanted to do like review videos sometimes, so I'd done like Alone in the Dark like a month ago, and that was just, I hated that game. And mate, if I could dig out the notes for you, but I had like big A4 notes of the game, like everything about it and my experience getting the platinum, and I was like, I'll do like a good 15-minute rant video, and I just never
They
done
always do well. They always do well. Hate videos.
Mate,
I don't get it.
I done a video like ranting about the trophy hunt community, and it was a guy boosting, and it was pretty much about like people that boost the game before even like playing it or trying it. Like you've never even experienced the game, you've just went in straight away, went, I want the platinum, boosting it. And it's like a wee rant about that little stupid video I done. Never thought in it, boom, but it was like my most viewed video for like the longest time. And I was like, oh my god, why is everybody finding me through this instead of videos that I actually thought were decent?
Mate, it looks like you found the niche. You just need to make like pure hate watch content of just shitting on things.
Just stay on Asmongold and just hate everything. Never bathe either. Fucking be true.
Sending shots already on the phone. I don't even know who you're talking about, to be honest. So hopefully they're
mate,
not.
everything I know about this guy is against my own will. Like literally, his house has got like cockroaches just crawling about. He doesn't bathe. He doesn't like clean dishes, mate. It's legit. He took a picture of his sink and it looks like a fucking scene for Resident Evil 7.
Oh, is this the guy where like the?
He's like
Is
long
it
hair.
the jet? The no, but I don't know who he is. But is it the Power Wash Simulator people like
Yeah, they
tweeted
take
and
the
was
piss
like,
out of him.
we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm aware of him. I didn't know. I was gonna say the views shared by Chris are Chris and Chris alone, not mine.
They are my views. And I stand by them.
Yeah, Fez. I
Mate,
can't
fuck me,
comment. So what would you say got you into YouTube then? How come we're both here in the room right now? Oh, separate
Back
rooms,
in 2010, when I was like a wee guy, I used to watch Call of Duty videos, Modern Warfare 2, and in between Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 1 was where I started. I get the wee Dazzle. I don't know if you know what that is. That's like,
No.
that's old school, man. Like, if you couldn't afford a Hapag HD PVR, you get the wee Dazzle, and it was ass quality. But I would just record videos with that, and watched Woody's Gamertag, X-Jaws. Just the Call of Duty community was everything that I absorbed, and I wanted to be like them kind of thing. But obviously nobody wants to listen to the world views of a 12-year-old squeaky wee boy,
Yeah,
so
I
didn't get
was
very
gonna
far.
say the squeaky teenager.
Yeah, so I've done that. I've done a load of different stuff over the years, done Football Manager, but it was one of the ones where it's in the background, I was always trophy hunting. So then when I found his achievement hunting, I found it was Stray Dog doing Dead Rising video and Snamwitches. I can't remember what his video was, but I found them and I was like, there should be people doing this for the PlayStation. So I was like, I'll do it. And then obviously like, I found the community and I was like, oh shit, people beat me to it. But
Yeah.
that was the thing I always done in the background when I was doing YouTube, trying different things, was trophy hunting. So I was like, makes sense.
I was gonna say, like, I don't think I've ever been a conscious trophy hunter. Like, yeah, because do you know what I used to do when I was younger, especially is I wanted to have as many games on my account as possible. So like, whenever a game came on Plus or anything, I would play it, maybe get a trophy so it was at 1%, just so it was logged on my account, and then delete it. It was a really weird behavior, and I
You
just
just
look
wanted
at
to
my
flex the amount of games you played.
yeah. No idea why, and I look back at it, I go, "You're actually such an idiot," because my completion rate is awful. Not like I care about it, but
Yeah, no, I could not care less.
as he
about my
says, he
completion
deeply
rate.
cares about it.
And hides all his 1% games.
Yeah.
Just boost that percentage back up. No, I was just,
Oh.
mate, I wanted to play every game I could. I was just like, I wanted to like experience every type of game, because it was one of the things growing up, we never had like, a lot of money to like buy games kind of thing.
I was
So it was like
constantly
you can,
selling once I finished.
yeah,
I'd
you'd
sell.
get like a game a month, you know what I mean? So it's like, see when you're older and you've actually got money, it's like, I'll just buy every game I can. I wanted to experience the more. So mate, I don't even know what my completion percentage is at. It's got to be low.
It can't be as low as mine. Mine's atrocious. We won't bring the stats up this week. We can say, yeah, we don't need to. It's not the Premier League. We don't need stats there right now.
Off the top of my head, I think I'm 30. 30 something.
I'd say I'm about 30 as well. It's not looking good, bruv. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like we've been on very similar journeys in terms of YouTube. I again watched a lot of Call of Duty. I watched a lot of like Ali A and Benny Central.
Oh, like the tips
back in
and
the
tricks.
day. Yeah, like there was this one video of Benny Central playing. I think the map was Turbine on Black Ops 2, and he was like one of the first people. Like he was doing like pub stomping. So if anybody doesn't know what that is, that's essentially where a very good like skilled player goes into a generic lobby back in the day before there was skill-based matchmaking, and you'd literally just bulldoze the entire lobby and get like 200 plus kills, 300 like. So he was one of the first people I saw breaking a record, and Ali A for some reason posted Benny's video, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch this guy because he's way better than Ali A. So I thought, oh, I can do this. I was never as good, but I gave it a good shot. And then
I think I got one nuke on Modern Warfare 3. That was like greatest day of my life. Or a Moab it was called.
Oh yeah, Moab. Yeah. I remember they did like the nuclear medals in like Black Ops and Black Ops 2. So I did like an entire series of like roads to nuclear of me just trying to get it and just never getting it.
Nah.
It's so like I don't think you deep how hard it is trying to like live com a game, especially like a multiplayer game where everything's random. It's so difficult.
That was the thing I never realised till I was older was like, see, number one with the pub stomping you were saying, like even when I had skill based matchmaking, they had like a 0.1 KD because they would just tank their KD, constant matches back, and then when their KD was at its lowest, they'd jump into a game. So they're playing against people that are just holding the controller upside down, and they just mow them down, just tank their KD every time. But then the duel comes as well. Like, see when you go back and watch them, it's obviously fake.
Yeah,
I was watching one and I was like,
I saw an Ali A one.
This is not
it was more modern, but yeah, I don't know. As a kid, you believe so much stuff, and then you see
believe
it, like,
everything.
Yeah,
mate, the Xbox 720 videos I fell for. It's the wee ball, and you can see the disc spinning.
Yeah. Do you know what? For me, it was like I would be in primary school and I'd Google like I'm going to talk about Dragon Ball Z, but like I would Google like Super Saiyan 6, and it was just like Goku with just like hair down to his ankles, like just loads of Super Saiyan hair. It was ridiculous. I was like, oh, it's real. Maybe I'll see it next week on Cartoon Network.
I think I said to you before, the only thing I know about Dragon Ball Z was the guy with a mustache come down like that. I think he's like a humper.
Hercule, Mr. Satan.
Cool. I always thought he was cool. It's the only thing I know about Dragon Ball.
Mate, he is quite cool. He saved the world.
Oh, allegedly. Guy.
Yeah.
It's good enough for me.
Yeah. What a guy. And then so just moving on from my Call of Duty background, I've got so many videos archived, so which you may have seen because you are a member of my channel. I've started like re-uploading old content and reacting to it. So I've got like a whole plethora of like COD videos as well, and like FIFA and like some embarrassing vlogs. But I stopped YouTube. I don't know if when you did it, did anyone in your school become aware of your because it's probably one of the cooler things to do now. And in school, it is like one of the worst things because I was never really down with the ladies, right? But if I ever had a chance, they'd just be like, oh yeah, let's put on Leon's YouTube video. And it was like probably the most embarrassing thing ever. Like that you'd sprinkle a bit of Riz here and there, and you just see the disgust in their faces, like, what a fucking freak.
What a loser.
Don't let me chat to him.
That.
Honestly.
Look at us now, still doing it.
Literally, I'd say I probably got bullied out of it for a good few years. Went to uni and then sort of saw randomly like platinum videos getting recommended. So like yourself, I saw Snam posting stuff. I think Snam was one of the first people I started watching, and then also Satire as well. So they're the two that sort of I saw on the new journey, doing crazy challenges and things like that. And I was like, do you know what? Like, I used to do it back in the day. It can't be I don't want to say it's not hard because it definitely is, but it's like I've already done it with Call of Duty, so let me just try and dabble back in. And it's been just over a year now. I don't know how long have you been since your revival of creation?
It's got to be like a good year and a half or something like that. It's one of the
Yeah,
ones like I'm never, like, I always kind of start stop. Like I've never been fully committed to it. It's one of the ones that it's like I always say I'm like I wonder if I fully commit to it yet, but then it's like just never do. See with the school thing though, I never got like bullied at it. It was just see going to like a public school in Scotland where everybody is like, imagine it's the same in England. Everybody is looking for something to take the piss at each other.
yeah,
So everybody's looking
pretty
for
much.
that ammo, and it was like couple people found it, and I was like, oh, I can't risk it. I'll just. But the thing I regret is I deleted all my videos. So like, mate, there was like videos of like
Bullying was
me.
that much.
It was like playing Minecraft and stuff like that, and I'm like, I wish I never deleted it. See if I just made it private and I could like go back and watch it. That'd be the
That's
best.
that's one of the lucky things I did was I made it all private. Like it is awful, and it probably has aged terribly. Like with some of the things you would say in school as well were just obviously not meant to mean anything, sort of like
But they
offending
trains in
anyone.
Call of Duty again. The zombies trains. What were they
Yeah,
called?
the
Yeah,
the word that you, as an adult, you obviously know what it is. But as a kid, you're like, oh yeah, yeah.
you're
I
just
don't even know how.
running
Yeah,
trains
just
on
running a
zombies.
train. I won't say any more, but that word as well, the R word. I would like if you did really well in Call of Duty, you'd be like, oh, like
Yeah, I forgot about that. You'd say,
you'd say
yeah.
that, and I think I was in like in actual real life talking about me doing really well in a game, and like my friend's sister was there, and she was like, she looked at me disgusted and shouted at me, and she's like, "You can't say that." She's like, "That's actually filthy," and I was like, "What do you mean?" I just dropped the 20 and 0. Like, no,
The
didn't
clap.
realize how offensive it was, but I guess that's the kind of ignorance you have as a child, and almost the beauty of it. You just don't realize the horrible, horrible world we live in.
Yeah,
Anyway,
everything's sunshine and rainbows. Welcome.
yeah. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Moving on swiftly. What have you been playing at the minute?
Battlefield 3 is like the big one that I've just been grinding on, and it has been brutal. So I done a 12 and a half hour boosting session last weekend, and it was 10 p.m. till 10, half 10 in the morning, and it was just, mate, I
What?
never want to do it again. Never again.
Oh,
It's one of the ones. I remember I've also been grinding the XP, and instead of doing what any normal person would do, which is find an XP boosting group and just get it done in like 3 hours, I was like, if I can do it legit, I'll do it legit. So that's what I've been doing, and it has ruined Battlefield 3 for me because I remember you done a video, and it was like you didn't want to go back and replay some of your favourite games, like, out
yeah.
of fear that it might get ruined, and I've ruined
Has it
Battlefield
ruined
3
it?
for myself. Oh mate, I just all the good memories are gone. Now it's just bad memories. And I'm like, if I never touch Battlefield 3 again, I will be a happy man.
I was gonna
But I need to
say,
get the platinum, and the servers go down in November, so as soon as we're done, I'll be right back on it.
man, I should have checked in for a welfare check. 10 to 10 is an awful boosting time.
It's brutal. And the thing was, it's with Americans, and they're like, oh, it's like, it's 6 in the morning, man. I'm tired. I gotta go to sleep. And I'm like, go to sleep, man. What
Brother.
are you talking about? You don't know
Yeah,
nothing. Stay up for
we're
another
just,
4.
we're just built different over in the UK, aren't we?
Maybe
We're
we're
quite feral creatures.
just tanks compared to Americans.
But speaking of Battlefield 4, actually, one of like alluding back to my channel and like the private content, one of the videos that got used against me quite a lot was I made a Battlefield 3 kind of like funny montage video, just of me doing random stuff, and like I don't know why, but I tried to do like a Winston Churchill impression, and I'm not gonna bother trying to say anything because it is probably aged horribly. But I was just like, I must have been learning about World War Two in school, so that's why I obviously just tried to do an impression of whatever I don't even know what he sounds like now, but it was just
Old
one
English
thing that was
guy.
all literally
Steaming and esteeming old Englishman.
just always used against me. Like I was like, oh, I can't believe I actually did this, and the video done kind of well, like
Oh,
a
how
couple
many
hundred
views did it
views.
get? Oh, a
Couple
couple
hundred, I
hundred.
think. It could be more. I don't know. Obviously, it wasn't a raging success, but to a
Yeah, but
kid,
I
anything more than
remember,
one.
yeah, when I was a wee guy, like, on my old YouTube channel when I was doing the Call of Duty stuff. I hit 150 subscribers, and I was like, go tell my mum,
Nice.
I've made it. We're moving it. We're moving on to bigger and better things. Pack your stuff.
Mate, I remember signing up with the affiliate links with Machinima,
Oh, the affiliate.
and yeah, I can't say the word. And I made £2, two British Raheem Sterlings
Ooh.
from doing that. Yeah, and like somewhere, I think I've got like a memory box somewhere because I think I had to link it to my dad's bank because obviously I was underage, and they sent him the money, and then he just gave me like a £2 coin. So I've just kept it ever since, just as that bit of motivation. My first ever payday from YouTube.
That's cool.
Super cute. But
I
yeah,
never made any YouTube money back in the day.
honestly, completely different game now as well. You can really ball out.
Mate, it's mad as well because, like, see, back in the day, it was like you couldn't make money on YouTube, and it was like frowned upon. But when you did, it was like, this guy's they always called it a money whore, is what you get called.
Oh yeah.
Like when people made money, it was like, oh, you're not allowed to make money off YouTube. It's such a weird thing. Let's see contrasting then and now.
Yeah. Do you know why though? It's just haters because they're not doing it. That's literally all it is.
Probably, but it's like, see, even nowadays where it's like I'll find like a smaller YouTube channel like about our size, and they'll have like an ad, like, hey, this video is sponsored, like the mid-roll, not even a mid-roll ad, but it's like in video ads, and it's all the comments will be like, yes, get that bag, king, go get that bag, and all this stuff. They're like applauding them, and I'm like, this is so different.
But you need
for
those.
the YouTube I grew up in.
Yeah, but you need those interactions. Like if you get an ad, maybe it's more so for like influencers on like Instagram and TikTok, but like if they're doing like an actual product review, like you need people in the comments like saying like, oh yeah, I've just brought it. So like when the sponsor looks in, they're like, oh, it worked. We're gonna go back to them. So
yeah, you got to get those click throughs.
you do indeed. Would you ever take a sponsorship? Let's say that you, I don't want to say like don't agree with, but like if it's just something like really bad product, like a game or something, like would you, if the money was substantial, would you take it, or would you just say no, I don't believe in this?
I mean, it's easy to say you wouldn't take it when you're not getting offered it, innit? It's
Yeah.
like never been offered that kind of money. Like you've heard stuff before where it's like I got offered like 10 grand for this thing, and it's like 10 grand for like 60 seconds in your video. Maybe you should start vaping, kids. You know, it's not as bad as what they say. Medical experts, what do they know?
It's literally, it's all propaganda and illusions, right?
Exactly.
Smoke and mirrors. I think I'd hate to become that, but I think I would definitely take the money.
I was saying, do you know a guy called Total Biscuit?
I heard of him, yeah.
He was big on YouTube back in the day. His thing was always like, he was a man of his word. Like, see if he said a game was good, you could trust him. Like, like companies tried to like not pay him off, but like not bribe. That's such a strong word, but it's like kind of bribe him kind of thing. But it's like, you know, he would never take it, and that was the thing. Like I was respected about him, and like the community as a whole respected about him. And it's like I think everybody would want to be like him, but at the same time, money's money, and
bro, money talks at the end of the day. Like I think as well, people are a lot more understanding now of X sum of money is like a life-changing thing. Whether it's anybody, you know, it's as long as what you're promoting isn't this like an awful thing, right? Like, then I think you're probably fine. But yes, and as well, one thing that I'd do if I ever got a sponsorship is I don't know if there's rules against it, but do you know how you can like chapter your videos?
Mm-hmm.
I would like chapter the ad so people can skip it because I know people are going to skip it anyway. So, food for thought.
Everybody skips it anyway.
Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if it's against terms and service, but a weird one as well is if people are listening on like Spotify. I don't know about like Apple Music, but some of the podcasts I listen to have a lot of sponsorships in now, or paid ads, should we say. And you can skip in like 15-second increments. So essentially, it's always 2 minutes, let's say. You just need to click it 8 times or something. Like, do you know what I mean?
On YouTube videos, it's always like, see when you start, like, what was that thing? Huel Meals or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
Boop, 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 boop. Hit it 6 times. Ad's done.
But
skip it straight away.
I don't want to say the secret, right, because it's going to get out. But if you was doing an advertisement, especially for podcasts, you would make your advertisement 20 seconds. So no matter how they skipped it, they're having to jump back into the advert because they don't want to miss what the podcasters are saying. And I just feel like it's... Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's such a simple trick, that none of them are doing. I don't
Mhm.
know why, but anyway, moving on.
But then it's like the ads will be like 60 seconds ads is what we're paying for. So
Yeah.
make it 60 seconds, not 20.
Right. Moving on then. Moving on about the ads that we're never going to get. Well, not yet anyway. We'll manifest the ads in the
We're shooting
future.
high. I feel like we
Literally.
made a good first impression, you know what I mean? We're already
Yeah, we
talking
have.
about monetizing it, about 30 minutes in.
We actually don't care about any of the viewers. We're just here for the bag.
We're just here to talk to each other, mate. Let's be honest.
Literally. We actually just like talking to each other. This is like, it just benefits us really, right?
I just love the
But
sound of my own voice. Yours
yeah.
isn't too bad either, so.
So yeah, you've been playing Battlefield 3. I've been playing some more fun stuff, actually. I say fun with a pinch of salt. So I started streaming Lollipop Chainsaw Repop. Is it Repop? The
Yeah,
the
repop.
the the new one. And from watching another content creator's video, I always get confused between the content creators. But essentially they were saying that the Lollipop game started as a remake, but then they pivoted it back to a remaster, hence why it's just so glitchy still and not as good. Um, and the consensus from what I'm seeing is go and play the PlayStation 3 version because not much has changed. And I've never played the PS3 version, so you can probably chime in here, but I was quite disappointed from what I played on stream initially from the new remastered one on PlayStation 5. It was quite funny. It did have its moments, but I just thought when it boiled down to actually like gameplay stuff, I was like, oof, it is quite bad.
I think the thing is also, like the PS3 version never got reviewed well. Like, it
Yeah,
is considered a bad game. It's just like a cult classic kind of thing
yeah,
about it.
people love it.
And it's fucking expensive. I think I can't mind how much I spent on it, but I think it's like
Probably a lot.
£50, £50, £60 or something like that it goes for. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. But the only reason I played Lollipop Chainsaw and done a video on it, I think I mentioned it in the video, was it's one of the worst reviewed PS3 games. And I was like, I'll play this game, I will take the piss out of it and upload it, easy video. And I started playing it and I was like, I'm actually genuinely laughing here. I'm enjoying my
You can
time with this
embrace
game.
it, embrace the
Yeah.
badness.
I was like, this is a good game. I'm enjoying it. But
I think the difference now is that you expect so much better on next gen, and especially a remaster. Whereas before it was like bad, like you knew it was bad, you knew what you was getting into. The bar's so low, anything is a plus.
yeah,
But
I
yeah,
liked Lollipop Chainsaw, but it never had any like bugs or anything like that off the top of my head. I don't remember
yeah.
any. I feel like it ran pretty well for a PS3 game.
I don't know how it looked like back then, but one of the missions that I did, it was like really bright. It was like the arcade one or something. For a PS3 game, that quite shocked me because they're normally quite like dull, sort of like greys and
Yeah, they
browns and
always
greens.
went for that like modern military shooter in the middle of Afghanistan kind of vibe.
Yeah. So it was nice to see a bit of like
Every
vibrancy in that.
every cover was the same as well. You ever see that picture where it's like all the video game covers and it's like Modern Warfare 3 Battlefield? It's like they all just
Yeah.
look the exact same.
Do you know what though? It sells. So I guess it's
It
like
did sell
thumbnails on
'cause
YouTube. You
yeah,
click the better stuff.
throw a red arrow in this thumbnail. That's what works.
Yeah, just we'll just change the podcast thumbnail to cancelled. YouTube is cancelled. But yeah, so I'd say I've not finished it or platinumed it yet. I'm going to work towards doing it. But I would say probably wait for a sale, unless you're a diehard fan, is my consensus. But speaking of a better game, and I say the term better loosely, I've been sinking, I think it's probably about 25 hours over the past week or so, or it has been the past week of early access into the new FIFA game,
Oh yeah, because you got
FC 25.
sick right after FIFA came out, didn't you?
So yeah, if you can't tell,
Dink winky dink.
do you think I sound normal or do I still sound a bit
No,
congested?
mate, you sound totally fine.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm faking this so well. Essentially for the past like week I've been quite ill with the flu. Generally quite ill with the flu. So I haven't actually been gaming that much. I've just been resting during the day. But yeah, I've been quite ill, so that's probably why if you're staring at my webcam, if I just randomly start doing things while I'm muted, it's because I'm coughing. But yeah, my recent time has been put into FC 25 and it's been quite good. I think tomorrow, and I say tomorrow as in we're recording this on Thursday night, so the
Technically,
Friday.
it's Friday now.
Yeah, it's Friday night. So technically now people can actually load the game up for like standard access as well. So it's going to feel like whenever you boot Call of Duty up on Christmas Day and you get the Christmas noobs, there's going to be a bunch of low-rated
Oh,
teams
you're
joining
just gonna,
FIFA. So
mate. I seen I watched a guy on TikTok today just ranting about the new FIFA, and it was, what was that guy's name? The FIFA guy with like is it scoliosis, like pure fucked up back, pure spotty. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what scoliosis is and I know what spots are, but I
He's
don't.
got like a pure hunchback,
The
pure
only
spotty.
like relevant guy that I can think that does FIFA stuff is like Angry Ginge. Is he Ginger?
No, I know who Angry Ginger
No,
is. It's like
no, I don't know. Then there's so many.
Danny Irons, I think. Is it Danny Irons?
Does he do fit? I thought he was a influencer.
It was.
It-
I think it was Danny Irons. I don't watch his content, but it was like he uploaded a video and it was a
Just
10
moaning.
million FIFA coin team or something ridiculous. Some like insane amount of FIFA coins, and it was like, what is the point, man?
Huh.
I'll search
I
it.
uh,
Search it.
I think you saw my tweet actually of I don't know if you've got the ability to pull up tweets on the sort of podcast itself, but I the Danny Aaron's, he does sorry to change what we're talking about, but he does all like that Tinder stuff as well, doesn't he, with like women, like the live in a room. Do you know what I'm on about? Have you seen the clips?
No, I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
It's like they'll do like real life Tinder, so it'll be like they'll walk
Oh
up to
yeah, I've
like a
seen that.
booth. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. I tweeted out a team that I faced on Ultimate Team on FIFA the other day, and it was like it had Haaland, which is probably one of the best cards in the game. I say one of the best, but a good card. And this guy's team or person's team was so stacked. It must have been so expensive. And don't get me wrong, like my team is like half decent, but nowhere near like premium level. And I beat them. I think I had like a 6.5 XG. Oh no, did I beat? I think I may have drew with them 1-1 actually.
No, did you not draw?
Yeah, no, sorry, I drew with them 1-1, but my XG was ridiculously high, and I was like, if they didn't have such good players, they would have been cooked. Like,
Mate, I've
I just
felt
don't.
felt that so many times. See, because I always do the same thing. I just do Celtic past and present team. Also, by the way, if you're watching, you can currently see the Danny Aaron thing where it's the 10 million
team.
coin team. I just thought, what the fuck, man? How's you even? What's the point?
But this is the thing. EA give them money and
he doesn't pay for the coins. He like
yeah,
gets
do you know what I
them.
mean? Like it's content to promote the game, which is the illusion of as a kid watching it, you would believe it. But now we know.
Because I always do the same thing, Celtic past and present players. Like, mate, I've got screenshots and it's like my average overall team rating is like an 84, and I'm going up against like a 92 with fucking 99 Haaland and stuff. So I'm used to getting shafted by the old EA.
When don't
I
we
know
get
you're
shafted by EA? They make
Mate,
great business decisions.
I had to buy the FIFA 24 Platinum because of the, what you call it? There's a trophy for buying outfits. You know what I'm talking about? It's like vanity outfits for your.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can
Volta.
put the
Volta, it's
for
called.
the Volta. Yeah, you can put
But you get
money
like,
on.
I think I was getting like 80 coins per Volta game, and the season's done, so it's the only way I can get coins. But it's like 25 grand to buy like one piece of clothing, and I had to buy loads of it.
Yeah,
So I was like, I need to plop the money down. So EA got my money for that.
yeah. No,
I actually
that
wanted to
was
do a
in.
video on that, like I platinum the final FIFA, and I just never done it.
Yeah, I don't know if it was that one or I feel like they put that trophy in like literally just copy and paste the trophy lists. I don't know which one it was, but I went back to doing one and I had that one to do, and it was such an awful grind. I don't think I paid for it though. I stuck it out, which was
What
disgusting.
a tripper! No, I just bought.
It was like 500 items or something stupid.
Yeah. No,
And
I'm
you
the
can't
Man
buy the
City
cheap
at
ones
trophy
either.
hunting. I'll just buy it, buy my way to success.
Don't blame you, to be fair. If you played it a fair amount, then
I mean, I hate the Volta football,
don't know.
and I can't
It is
even
awful.
platinum
Awful.
EAFC. EAFC 24. One of the trophies is bugged. Can't even get it. Gutted, heartbroken. The 90 overall rating with your Volta player. Trophy's
Oh, is it
bugged.
bugged? Oh,
Yeah, it's no problem. And it's one of the ones where it's like it's just totally random. There's like a bunch of other people that have get the same thing. I'm like, guess I ain't platinum in that. Save me money though. Suppose I don't need to buy the outfits again.
yeah, true. That does
It's
suck
like
actually.
tenner I spent on it. 10. 20 at most, I think.
Awful. Exploiting us trophy hunters. It's actually crazy what
But
companies
you've
do
been
to us.
enjoying the new FIFA then, it's an upgrade.
Do you know what? The problem with FIFA is that it is literally just a copy and paste. Like, I can think of maybe, I think it was like FIFA 12 or FIFA 14 that was actually like revolutionary. Um, it's good. It plays well. Slight improvement, I'd say. They added a new mode called Rush, which is like Volta but a lot better. Oddly enough, like it's what Volta should have been, and it's really fun. So I'd say yeah, it is an improvement. But with FIFA, if you're a FIFA player or FC player now, you know what you're getting, right?
Yeah, it's
You know
same
that
shit, different day.
exactly. It's the same with Call of Duty. You know what you're getting at the end of the day. So as a very big football fan, I know what I'm getting. I enjoy it. It's not bad. It's not awful.
It's
Yeah.
weird though, when you think about it though, right? Because it's like FIFA, COD, Battlefield. It's like, maybe not COD as much because they went and started doing the jetpack stuff and stuff like that, but it's like, they've got the formula, they copy it, they paste it, copy, paste, and it works every single year. But like Ubisoft with Assassin's Creed, they had the formula and then everybody just kind of get bored of it. See, like Far Cry, it's the same game 7 times in a row, 8 times in a row, but everybody's sick at it. It's weird
I
how
feel like
some games they get away with it and some you don't.
they did too much. I'd say there's two clear distinctions though. One's a live service game. What is it? FIFA is live service, like it's a multiplayer game, right? And Far Cry is an Assassin's Creed, a single player. So obviously it's quite a big difference. But I think where Ubisoft went wrong is I think personally they just started to do too much. I feel like people expected more, so then they started doing more, and it just kind of got out of hand. The game's got too big, arguably. You can say it's a good thing. People hate on Valhalla for being such a big game. I think it's a good game. Trying to get the platinum trophy is a
I hate
myth.
Valhalla. It is
But
the worst.
but if you talk about value for money, right? That £50 or £40 I may have spent back in the day for how many hours of gameplay? Like, some people eat that up with like Skyrim or like Elder Scrolls or Cyberpunk or The Witcher. So it's quite rare that you actually get bang for your buck. I'd say as well, like,
How much was Astrobot? You bought Astrobot, didn't you?
yeah. So that was 60, I
But
believe.
did you have more fun with though?
With what?
Astrobot or Valhalla? What was like the more enjoyable game? Because the thing with like Valhalla is it's like, yeah, it's bigger and it's longer and whatever lasts longer, but it's no.
I feel like I've got recency. I feel like I've got recency bias though.
I just don't think the fun factors though.
I don't know. I feel like when I played Valhalla, like I really like got into it and really
But
enjoyed my time
it's like
with it.
say it took 70 hours to beat, right? How
Yeah,
many of those 70 were like enjoyable where you were like, oh, this game's amazing? You know what I mean? Versus
I
like
don't think
Astrobot where it's like maybe it was like 10, 15 hours, but the whole 10, 15 you were like, oof,
it was like
masterclass.
quality over quantity. Yeah,
Because that's the thing with Assassin's Creed, we've got a bigger map, more stuff going on, and
yeah.
it's like, just give me the story, man. Let me kill folk.
I do feel like I would stop playing a game now more than ever just because time is more valuable to me. But I do think back then, if it was that bad, I probably would have stopped playing it. Like Red Dead 2 is a good example here, and I know I get cooked for it all the time, but I played up to chapter 6 or 7, I think, put it down, didn't care for it, and never went back to it. I tried to jump back into it and did a chapter, and I feel like I need to start the game again, but it's too long to start because the prologue is like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like,
I
I guess that experience could happen with people with Assassin's Creed, but then people loved Red Dead and stuck with it, and I did stick with Valhalla. By the way, I'm not standing Valhalla here. I just thought it gets overhated
Is that
sometimes.
not how you want to die on?
Not for Valhalla, no.
Not for Valhalla. I got
Right.
Mirage. I got that on rental, and I'm planning on playing that this weekend.
No,
I'm looking
that
forward
was
to
awful.
that. You didn't like
You look-
Mirage?
No.
No, what?
No,
Mate,
do you know
everybody I've
what?
spoke to says that Mirage is the best recent Assassin's Creed.
Are they smoking pesto?
Because apparently it's went back to like the old school Assassin's Creed instead of this
Yeah, yeah,
Origins,
no,
Odyssey, Valhalla, RPG. Because,
yeah,
mate, I do not. I want to be an assassin. I don't want to worry about this spear does 500 damage, this spear does 505 damage, but this has got fire, this has got electricity, all that shit. Give me a sword. That's all he needs. He needs a sword. It doesn't need X amount of
yeah,
damage,
valid.
whatever. Attributes. I'm an
Modern
assassin.
Assassin's Creed game, I think Origins, the one in Egypt, is the best one of that new formula. Let's say the trilogy of Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla. I feel like Origins was probably the shortest out of them all and was like the good length of a game. And the platinum is super easy. They gradually got too longer and harder. Mirage was it was nice to go back to the like classical Assassin's Creed experience, but there was just no substance to it. It just felt like an empty shell of a game. There was just this. I couldn't tell you the story. I couldn't tell you the protagonist. I think you try and save a kid or
Basim,
something,
I
or
think his name is.
I don't know. Like it you get what you pay for. It plays like an Assassin's Creed game, and it's an easy. The collectibles aren't bad. It's an easy platinum, but it's very forgettable, I'd say. Uh, but I mean, you could love it. Don't let
Yeah, mate,
my
you're kind of putting a dampener on it, and I've been looking
yeah.
forward to this all week.
Have a good weekend, my friend.
Yeah, well, I will now. Thank you.
Uh, right. So, well, I mean, while I'm being quite negative, why don't we talk about the PlayStation showcase that happened earlier this
The
week?
PlayStation State of Play.
Is it
I will pull that up.
state of play, not showcase? I always get them
It is the
confused.
State of Play, yes.
They're both the same thing in my eyes. So anyway, roll the clips. um,
All right.
I
So people will be able to see it now.
perfect.
People that want to
I
watch.
I was underwhelmed personally. I don't know about you, but I'm my expectations are so low with PlayStation. Every state of play showcase, whatever it is, it started really high and it was bad and it was bad and it was bad, and it's the hope that kills you. So I didn't expect anything from this one, thankfully, and I didn't think it was all that. Don't know what your
Well,
thoughts are.
I mean, it's PlayStation State of Play, so I think it's probably just so many people are going in with too high hopes. Because it's like we get 4 of these a year, and then you get the PlayStation Showcase.
Is
So
the
it's like they're
showcase meant
not.
to be the big one?
Showcase is the big one, I'm sure. Like I said,
Because
you get 4 State of Plays.
I feel like we get more content from wait, is this a state of play?
This is a State of Play.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to write this down. I feel like we get more from the state of plays than the showcases. I think that the showcases are built up to be something more, and they're just not.
I mean, honestly, could not tell you what was
I
in
don't
any
think.
of the previous State of Plays or the Showcase. I think it's one of the ones where it's like, see, back in the day, like especially us growing up, we had E3. That was it. You had the one
Yeah,
event E3, and that's where everything get revealed. That's where all the news came out of. Whereas now it's like there's so many different things going on and shows that have been cancelled. Like there's no Gamescom anymore. I don't think. Maybe you used
yeah,
to get that in Germany. That doesn't exist. E3 doesn't exist.
it's sad.
Still
Hopefully
get the
they'll go
Tokyo
back.
Game Show, but
Yeah, if you just go back to Astrobot, which I think is a really interesting thing to start with, right? And I don't really care for DLC, and I really loved Astrobot. I don't really care for the DLC, which could be very controversial. Like, I think it's great, and I
free
think that
DLC.
it's
Free DLC.
free
You add that in, you don't
DLC,
need to pay.
free DLC that is coming out in fall 24. So what, within the next 2 months, right?
Mm.
I think it's very good that the DLC is coming out so soon, so they can still capture the hype and like the people playing it. Fantastic idea, good idea, right? To put it in a state of play where we're expecting other things, I think is kind of where it's the disappointment of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you wish it was something else that gets shown.
Yeah, like I feel like if I'm ever gonna play DLC, I'm gonna play it right now when it's relevant. Do you know what I mean? Like it does look good, but whether I can be bothered to re-download it and play it is a
It's like, are
different
you going to
matter.
install the game again
Again,
in
right?
two
I
months'
think
time?
that it will probably go on sale when they drop that DLC, and obviously the new players can enjoy everything. But I don't really care about unlocking some extra characters, as cool as they might be.
Yeah, I've not even played Astro, but I'm looking forward to it though. I really want to play it.
It's a
But
really good game. Like I was worried about the price, but it's definitely worth it. I think if Final Fantasy Rebirth didn't come out in February, I'd say that Astro Bot would be my game of the year.
Ooh.
It's not that much has come out, but I think Final Fantasy Rebirth. Like it's funny you talk about the Ubisoft kind of blueprint. Like Final Fantasy kind of copied that in a way where you were doing like towers, but they weren't like so repetitive and like I hate this game. Like how
Mhm.
you like Far Cry and Assassin's Creed are like they took it with a pinch of salt, done their own thing, and it worked really well with their open world. Super fun. What this Clay game as well. Like I also feel that state of plays and showcases just don't appeal to the type of gamer that I am. I find
I
it
think
more
they
indie
show a lot
stuff.
more indie games than what they used to.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, like I do love an indie game, and since I've been on this platinum journey and in the community, I've had like a lot of good recommendations. So like I do enjoy playing, let's say the good ones, right? But I just don't really like care to see them in state of plays. It almost kind of takes away from them being indie because they're on such a big stage. You kind of want it to be like a hidden gem almost.
Mhm. And it's like getting that Sony push kind of ruins it for you. Is like an indie.
Yeah, and as well, you probably know this, and a lot of people watching and listening know this, but I think it was probably about 6 months ago that I learned that indie stands for independent.
What did you think it meant?
Just indie. Like, do you know how you get like indie like bands and stuff? Like, I just assumed it was like kind of like edgy and cool. Like, I didn't know. Is that what indie means in the music industry as well? Like independent.
Pretty sure it
Like,
does. Yeah.
oh wow, well,
It's just short for independent.
I don't know.
Okay, let's move on quickly from from that.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be getting cooked in this episode. First Red Dead, then this.
Oh man. But yeah, what else? Hell is Us, which has just came up on screen. This is one of the ones where obviously the audio's quiet on it, but it's like, see, leading into it, I was like, ooh, this wee story. I'm like, this is starting to sound cool. But you know what put me off is the combat, which you're about to see. I don't, everybody wants to do Souls-like combat, and I'm
I'm
done with it.
sick of it. I'm
I'm
sick of
so
it.
sick of
I'm
it.
not. I don't play Souls like first and foremost because I'm not very good at them. If it's your cup of tea, it's your cup of tea, right? I think it's being overdone too much.
Hmm.
This game does look cool, but I feel like I've already seen it. I feel like I've already played it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it
Hell.
doesn't really look like it's doing anything that we've not seen before. It's just the enemies look cool and it looks pretty.
Honestly, it's the combat and the way the enemies are that kind of puts me off it. It's one of the ones I'll see if it ends up on like PS Plus, maybe I'll check it out, but
Yeah,
I don't think I'll be buying it.
no, I don't think I would be. When it first started getting trailered, shown, I think it may be an Xbox exclusive actually. Do you know the game that's like Fallout, but not?
Bit more specific. What
I
do you
feel
mean?
like it's set in England as well.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought it was as well at the start.
Yeah,
I can't
I
think
thought
what
it
it's
was that
called.
game. I don't know what the
Yeah,
game is called,
I seen
unfortunately,
that.
but it's kind of like Fallout, and you've got like robots and stuff, and it's in the
Hmm.
countryside. I
But
thought
it's in
that Hell is
England.
Us. Yeah, it's in England.
It's like the English countryside.
Yeah, but again, right? We've got what is this Metro
This is Metro
series?
Awakening on
Yeah,
VR.
I feel like you're a Metro fan.
Oh yeah, I like Metro. Metro 2033, Last Light. I've not played Exodus. Exodus was, I played it on PS4 and I got like a few hours in, but see the loading times, they were so bad. See, especially
Really?
when you die and it's like, mate, 3-4 minutes to load back in. So it just totally put me off it. But I get the Metro 2033 Platinum. I'm gonna do Last Light eventually. I'll do Exodus, and mate, I'm looking at this and I'm like, this is a cool game. Like I'm even listening to them talking and like kind of thinking what the story could be, and I'm like, this is interesting. But am I buying a VR
Yeah,
headset?
VR. No,
Nah,
It's- I,
VR ain't my thing.
I feel like on paper I should really love Metro. Like because they've got like the novels as well, don't they, or comics
It's based
for it.
on books.
Books. That's it. My bad. It looks really cool, and like on paper, I should like the game. I played one of them. I just couldn't really get into it. I just prefer watching other people play it. But it seems that from this state of play that they're really pushing like VR stuff as well, because we will see some
There
more
was a lot of VR.
VR titles. And again, it's like I guess it's probably just in the contract that they have to push it because they're probably trying to meet a quota and make sales. But it's like, do you know anybody that has a VR, or how many should I say?
Nah, I don't know anybody that's got a VR.
I I don't
I've
know
thought
anybody.
about buying it before, and then every time I'm like, nah, I
I
don't need
I,
it.
I had the original one, and because I wear glasses to sort of like see distances, right? When I
What a
put it
loser.
on,
Who wears glasses? Uh,
um,
can I see a
when I
fucking
put
thing?
on the headset, I couldn't see, and I think it's because I didn't make the connection that I needed glasses at the time as well. So it was a
Mm-hmm.
period of time where I was just actively blind. I mean, I am still blind in day-to-day life, but
I've heard
so
about
yeah, I
your
didn't.
driving.
Sorry.
I said I've heard about your driving.
Oh yeah,
Not the safest.
yeah. Well, I've got glasses now, so my driving glasses, sort of race goggles. But yeah, but I played it and I just didn't really get on with it, to be honest. I just didn't think for the price tag as well. I just didn't think it was good. I feel like in the next 5 years, if you could like set up a room in your house with like omnidirectional treadmills, right? So you could
Mm-hmm.
actually like simulate walking. It's
Mate,
the
do you
only
remember
time
the
I see
Gadget
VR
Show?
good.
Did you ever watch that? I think it was on Channel
I
4, the Gadget
I think,
Show.
yeah, I think
They had that
yeah.
for Battlefield 3 back in the day. And I'm sure
Have you
that's
seen
what
like,
they had, the wee
uh,
treadmill thing. And it's like it's a
yeah,
circle, so you can never walk off it.
yeah,
And they had the VR headset, and that was Battlefield 3 back in 2011. They had that kind of
yeah.
stuff.
I've seen recently as well. There's kind of like pain vest. So like if you're
Yeah.
playing like a sword game or Assassin's Creed, like they strapped on these like look like ballistic vests, and obviously it felt like when they were getting hit, they were like, oh, it feels
Yeah,
like
it's
we've
like
just
they
been
actually feel the
stabbed.
pain.
Yeah, but right, we completely bypassed the whatever the past trailers were because to me they didn't look that great. But we've got PalWorld up now, and I unfortunately don't care for it. I feel like it's a little bit too late and it's
Nah.
the hype's died down. I don't know. Is it?
Did that
I
come
mean,
out
it's
last
available
year?
now.
Was it this
I
year it
think
came out on Xbox?
maybe early this year. I think maybe kind of just like shadow dropped, didn't it?
Mm.
And
It's
then
one of the ones there was just hundreds of hype on it. And I was just sitting watching people play it, and I was like, I don't see what
it's
you guys are getting excited about.
what was it? Was it X Defiant that they were saying? Oh, it's the
Oh, the
COD killer.
Ubisoft, yeah.
Yeah, like oh, the COD killer. Had hype for like 1 2 weeks, and then like you go over to Twitch, most streamed games, and like Warzone and COD are back at the top,
Hmm.
and like X Defiant is
And the thing
dead.
is, it's those like Call of Duty YouTubers that are like, Call of Duty's finally dead, we're getting rid of skill based matchmaking. And then it's like they're still on COD now. They played Defiant for a week, if even that, because they get paid and they've moved back.
Yeah. So yeah, it's. I feel like if they just released it for everybody at the same time and like generated the hype, it would have been fine. But yeah, not for me, unfortunately. But again, looking at this what was this like a Luna collection, a
Yeah,
remaster
this
from
is Luna.
PS1 games? Like this looks cool. Don't get me wrong. But for a state of play, just a bit lackluster. I think the I don't want to speak out of turn here, but I don't know how big the Luna community is. I'm not familiar with it, but you know, is it that big? Like, is it Final Fantasy levels big?
It's one of the
Of
ones I've never played it, but I've heard it before, so it's got to
right?
have some sort of
Yeah, I just
community
feel
that
like it's
remembers how good it used to be back in the day. I couldn't even tell you
yeah.
what system it's on. I would have assumed PS2.
But even looking at the like, they've wasted so much time on this state of play with. We've got Sonic now for some DLC. As cool as Keanu Reeves is in the DLC, they're literally just
Did
advertising
you ever like
DLC.
Sonic? Was Sonic everything you were into?
I kind of liked it. I like playing the Shadow game. I think it was on GameCube. I thought that was pretty cool. I used to play that in like Dirge of Cerberus. I feel like Shadow really feels like Vincent Valentine from Final Fantasy. I just have a weird connection of those two characters because their
Yeah, I've
games came
never
out at the same
liked
time.
Sonic or cared about it, but I know who Shadow is. I just know he was like the cool guy kind of thing.
Yeah, that's literally all I remember from it. Knuckles was pretty cool,
I
but
don't
yeah,
even know who that
like
is.
they've advertised DLC for Sonic, and I think as well just before this we saw Teenage Ninja
Mutant
Mutant
Ninja
Turtle.
Turtles. Shredder's
Again,
Revenge was it?
yeah, why are they wasting valuable time just telling us about DLC?
This
That's
thing though,
what
it's
really,
like it ain't for us, but it will be for some people. Like there's probably somebody
yeah,
who's watching it was like, oh, Lunar, let's go. You know what I mean? It like made their
yeah.
day.
No, of course, but I don't know. I just feel like when you're coming to these shows, you need to pull out the big guns. Like,
I think especially because it's end of year. This is the
yeah,
last one. And you've
because
just had the PS5 Pro get announced, which get the backlash.
and I'm sure we're going to get onto that after this about the PS Pro, but it would have been great to see a new game for the PS Pro to make the most of it. But it seems that they're just
All the
giving us
games they showed was Last of Us 1 and 2, Spider-Man,
which
games
has
we've
been the
already played.
same old story. But yeah, I mean this Dragon Age game could be interesting. I know historically they were quite good games. I think they kind of got a bit bad in the latter ones. But I think is it Dragon
Nah,
Age 2?
everybody's liked all the Dragon Age 2, wasn't it? 2,
But like, I
obviously.
feel like
Dragon Age Origins was good. 2, people kind of hated on. I didn't mind it, I thought it was alright. And then you had Inquisition, which was 10 years ago, I think it was. But yeah, I'm playing. I started my Dragon Age Origins playthrough. I started that like a week or two ago. Start playing through that. I want to try and play through the series before Veilguard comes out, but it's one of the ones where I don't think I'm going to have enough time to play through 3 big RPG games.
I've never actually played them. They do look really cool though. Whenever they've been out,
Mass Effect.
Yeah, I played Mass Effect.
Yeah, you'll like Dragon Age then.
I just feel like if you've played Skyrim, and I hate to generalize here, but if you've played a fantasy game, they're kind of not all the same, but I feel like I was playing Skyrim whenever the relevant Dragon Age game was out. Do you know what I mean? So my
Whatever
attention
year that would have
span.
been. When did Skyrim come out? 2011? Because it was like the 11th of the 11th, 2011. Was when it
Really?
released. I'm
That's
sure it
pretty
was.
sick.
It was either 11, 11, 11 or 10, 10, 10. It was one of the two.
That's
Could
actually
have
pretty
been
cool.
12, 12, 12. But it was like they were all the same number anyway.
Imagine that being your birthday, like 12, 12,
It'd be
12,
so easy to
born at
remember it.
12, 12 p.m. or
Just the next coming of the Antichrist.
Yeah, I mean, the gameplay from this game does look good. I don't know. I feel like we've seen quite a lot of the Dragon Age from the previous PlayStation stuff though. So I just feel like again it's a wasted slot.
Well, it's coming out soon. It's at the end of October. And
Okay,
I've
so
avoided all trailers, avoided all gameplay because I wanted to go in totally blind.
right.
But
Have they? I wasn't really paying attention too much. Have they showed Stellar Blade yet?
no, that's towards the end.
Oh, is it towards the end, right? Just because I'm still riled up about them advertising DLC stuff because that's just more. I think
Did
it's
they
just
add
a
a photo
photo.
mode or something?
Yeah, just a photo mode and
Better look
and
at ours.
near crossover. But yeah,
Never played Neo.
I've not. I was always too scared because it looks like it's at face value. It looks like a really difficult game with multiple playthroughs, but apparently it's not that bad. Especially to platinum, it's quite reasonable.
I was gonna get there's Nier. It's just called Nier. It's not Nier Automata or whatever, and it's on the PS3. And I was thinking about doing that. Like I'd platinum the original Nier. I was just like, can't be arsed.
Is it expensive or?
No, I think less than a tenner if I had to guess.
Oh, that's quite strange. I thought like the series was like. I mean, it is really popular, so I thought maybe they'd try and like price out or price up the older games.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think it's not as bad as like a Deadpool or a Lollipop Chainsaw or any of the Suda 51 games. Nothing like that.
Did the Lollipop Chainsaw drop in price when the new remaster got announced?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
I've got the physical edition ordered. That comes December, so hopefully that'll be worth a pretty penny.
maybe.
Got that
maybe.
and Shadows of the Damned on PS5, both physical editions, even though I own the PS3 physical version. I was like, you know what?
Double
For
up.
the collection. Get it for the collection. And on there is the Alan Wake 2 DLC, which
See,
I'm
I've
so excited for.
never played Alan Wake properly. Played a little bit of it. A bit of trivia for everybody. It was the last game I played on my PC when I had a PC and was PC gaming, and it blue screened my computer. The first Alan Wake game. So
You know the
I
one
didn't
game
get-
that's gave me like true fear was
What?
Batman Arkham Asylum.
Oh, with the intro. Yeah,
With
that
the blue
is.
screen.
Yeah, that was
When it
pretty
fakes you
scary.
with the blue screen. Because I had my
Yeah.
laptop and it was like my new gaming laptop. I'd saved up for it and I was like, yes, play some Batman Arkham Asylum, playing it.
Human.
Blue screened and I was like, mate, that's like the one game that's gave me proper fear. But yeah, Alan Wake 2, the Lake House DLC. It's set in the Federal Bureau of Control, the FBC building.
I was about to say it looked like Control, and I don't know too much about the worlds, but I know there's a lot of crossover and it's the same devs. And I was like, that looks like Control. I was like, is it something Control 2 or something like that?
Control 2 is in development, so I think what's going to happen is the way this ends will lead into the start
Yeah.
of Control 2, because this is the last Alan Wake 2 DLC.
What is there? How many has there been before? Or was this the
One.
first?
You only get 2.
Oh, right. But yeah, I reckon I'd really like Alan Wake 2. I'm not too sure about the first one. It just seems a bit long. But the second one seems quite enjoyable.
If you like the newer Resident Evil games, like
Yeah.
their style, like from like 2 onwards, the 2 remake, then you'll like it, because they kind of just copy that a wee bit, to be honest.
Yeah.
Took heavy
But as well,
inspiration.
that looks like DLC I'd actually play as well. As you know, I don't really like playing DLC, to be honest. It's a bit of a scam.
Yeah, I need to play the DLC just because I want 100% every Remedy game. I've done Alan Wake 1, 2, and Control. Then I'll do Quantum Break on, Xbox One. Turn the Xbox One on for the first time in 12 months.
Honestly, mine just sits there collecting dust.
Mate, that's what I'm good for. Paperweights.
Yeah, pretty much. Moving on to another VR game though, we've got Hitman. Which
I love
looks
Hitman.
like it does look pretty cool, to be fair. But again, it's such a. I wonder how many units they've sold of like VR2s. It's got to be under like a million, right? Maybe like
they've already done
500,000.
Hitman VR, so this is just an improved version. I think that bit's cool as fuck, where he catches the shot with the frying pan.
Oh,
Did you catch that?
I think a bit of it. I was too mesmerized by the cars. I thought you was talking about the cars.
No, he gets shot at and he's holding the frying pan, and the frying pan takes the shot for him. You'll see it in a second. But mate, I love Hitman, but
I'm just not patient enough. I'm not
don't
very.
want to play it in VR.
I like them. I think they're cool, but I just
This is it coming up.
always get caught. Right, let me pay attention. That computer looks like a GameCube as well, by the way.
Boop.
Oh, right, yeah. Such a random utensil to have. Just it gives me what's that James Bond game that everyone loves? Is it GoldenEye?
GoldenEye is the one that everybody speedruns. Back in the day, it was like the
what?
64.
What's like one of the first missions where it's like a snowy castle? Because that last clip from Hitman.
Oh, Nightfire.
Is it Nightfire?
Nightfire's the one with the snowy castle. You can like jump in the back of a truck to get inside, or you can like sneak around the building. Oh man, what a game! What a game!
What a game! That's the only thing I remember. I didn't get very far. Never completed it. It was too.
I played it as a wee kid, and I remember there's a mission you get to, and it's like you need to. Your mission objective is feed the dragon. That's what the lassie tells you. She's like, Bond, feed the dragon, and I was like, I don't know if I can deal with a dragon. I don't know if I want to do this. But it's actually so I never beat the game when I was a wee guy, and I remember years later my brother was playing it, and it's literally just a wee dragon statue, and you walk up and you put a wee gem in it. But I was petrified at the idea of playing a James Bond game and killed loads of people, blew up helicopters.
But you don't have the facilities to slay a dragon. This isn't Skyrim.
Fun fact: Nightfire taught me my left from my right.
Really?
Well. Yeah, because it's like on the castle mission when you're escaping, it's like you're shooting, and she'll be like, "On your left, James," and I'll be like, looking to my right. Where are they? Oh, right, okay. So just over time, failing the mission so many times and replaying it, I learned my left from my right. So video games are helpful.
This
sometimes.
This Legacy of Kain, again, I didn't know what it was until I saw that it's being remastered. It does look kind of cool, to be fair.
It's one of the ones where I've heard it so many times, and I've heard it's meant to be good, but I've just never looked in it. It's one of the ones where it's like, see a lot of old games, it's like, I know they might be good, but I just don't want to go back and experience it.
I just think as well, just don't waste the trailer on the state of whatever this is called, the showcase state of play. Just give us hard hitters, right? But the game that's up next is the Blumhouse game. So the people that make the horror films like The Conjuring, Fear of the Spotlight. I don't know if it's on. Yeah, the one that was just on. I don't know if it's their first game that they've made or if they've made any others, but it's really interesting in a world where kind of like Netflix are trying to make games, Amazon are trying to make games, this movie production company are now trying to make horror games. I just think it's a really interesting idea. The game has that vibe to it where it looks like a classical PS2 or PS1 game, would you argue? Which is an interesting design choice, but I think being the heavy hitters of the horror franchise, should we say, in like movies, I feel like the game would probably be pretty scary, even though it looks very basic. Just because they know what they're doing essentially.
Yeah, I've kind of I don't know. Horror games ain't really my thing, to be honest. But it's like Resident
They're
Evil. Do you
not.
consider that a horror game? Because it's like
That's
I've
it.
never
It's more
found it
action now.
scary. Yeah, it's like. But like horror games, I'm just kind of never been interested in. Alan Wake 2 is a horror game, but like that's an
Really?
exception. We make exception. Mate,
Oh,
Alan
wow.
Wake 2 kind of is one of the ones where I wasn't paying attention and I get caught by a jump scare. I was like, you
Oh,
cheeky
really?
fuckers,
I
man.
never knew.
Yeah.
Wow, I never knew that. I'd be completely blindsided.
Oh, they do it all the time. It's like it's one
Really?
of the ones where it's like they take up the full camera kind of thing. It's like just
Oh,
jump scare. Like, remember the old flash jump scares you used to get
yeah, yeah.
on the internet back in the day?
Do you remember in Mob of the Dead in COD Zombies where you'd like zoom in your sniper scope
Is it the
on the top
moon?
of Alcatraz and it would like do a scary face?
Yeah. I never really played zombies, but I heard of that one.
We also just saw a trailer for Lego Fortnite split screen mode, and I'm sure you can hear the excitement in my voice of, and also sorry, the Fortnite controller as well. Got to shout that out. Why?
Fortnite makes money, Lego makes money, kids love Fortnite, kids love Lego.
But why do you
Easy
need to
money.
advertise split screen? I didn't
See, to
even
be
know
fair,
that.
mate, we need more split screen games because like, that's what I grew up on. Let's say me and my brother playing split screen games. And then
Yeah.
it's like seeing like the 360 generation, that's when they kind of started to die out at the end. And I remember always being like, oh, I just wish they had more split screen games. So
Thing is though,
I ain't hating
I,
on it.
I think that even if split screen games were to make a bit of a resurgence, I don't think that the modern generation would play them. I think it would be the older generation that go back in for that nostalgia kick. I just think that modern gaming is so different now. Like, I don't even know what a kid would play. I shouldn't know what a kid would play because I don't have kids. But
No,
like,
but
do you know what I mean?
if you've got two kids, right, and they both want to play Fortnite together,
Yeah,
you need to buy two PlayStations. Whereas you get split screen, it's just boom, you're on the one console sharing it.
yeah, valid. But you can play on mobile as well. So
Can you play Fortnite on mobile?
I think so. Mobile, tablets. I think my cousin played it on a tablet. You can play it on Switch. There's so many different ways to
I know
play
you can play on
Fortnite.
Switch, but
Yeah.
I thought it would be like PUBG, where it's like mobile players play with mobile players, console
Maybe.
plays with console and
Maybe.
PC.
Maybe it would probably be fair, wouldn't it?
I mean, I'd love to pub stomp some 8-year-olds on mobile Fortnite.
Mate, I
Pick
heard
that
you've
bad
never
boy
had
up.
I heard you've never had a Fortnite win.
Never. Well, I mean, they had the win against the robot. I've got the umbrella, mate. I'm counting it.
Mate, I remember when I think it was earlier this year when they brought back Fortnite OG, and I was like, right, I can't do the building anymore. I was
I
kind of in
never
that
liked building. I never liked
generation
Fortnite.
of Fortnite where the building wasn't crazy. You could do basics and get by. So I thought, oh, let me jump back into OG. And I think because I was playing a lot of ranked Warzone at the time, I was just obviously like the skill based matchmaking would have been very generous, and it wasn't bots, I can assure you. So I played a couple of games, but the lobby was so easy. Like I think I got something like 10 or 11 kills, and I was like this doesn't feel right. It feels wrong going
I
into a
always get
children's game,
sweats.
and yeah.
The only one I've went in and just absolutely pub stomped kids on was Plants vs Zombies. When I get EA Play, I was like, Plants vs. I'll try this game, mate. The
What a game.
numbers I was putting up. The numbers, my KD must have been insane on that game. Just bullying kids.
Yeah, nice. We're the guys that bully kids on podcasts.
So don't leave any mean comments or else.
We will really take them to heart, and we will cry to each other.
Yep.
So we did
sleep.
we did actually miss a bit of a heavy hitter with one of the trailers, and that was being Dynasty Warriors Origins. I didn't say anything because one, we were in the conversation, but secondly, it's as cool as it looks. It's just not really my game. I've not played any of the other ones. Don't know about you.
I've
Have you
never
played
played
any?
Dynasty Warriors, but it's one of the ones I've always seen and be like, I'd love to play it. Like you're about to see it here, but it's like, see, just the idea of running into a big, massive battle with like
Yeah,
1,000 guys and like one swipe of your
I can
weapon, you've
appreciate
took out
it,
like 30, 40. I'm like, I always thought
and
that
I
looked
feel like
cool. And then imagine on PS5
yeah, exactly. This
how
is what
that
the
would be.
PS5 is built for. Like, I know you've not played Astrobot, but there's a couple of sections in that where like there's like treasure, and you can just like hit all of the treasure around the room, and it's like thousands of pieces of treasure, and it's like, oh, finally, the PS5 is doing something.
This is what I bought my PS5 for Astrobot gems to fly over my screen. Look how
Honestly,
pretty.
I'm so easily pleased, really.
Just some shiny objects will get you.
I mean, you can probably skip forward. I don't.
Yeah, I just wanted to pull it back to look at
Yeah,
some
yeah.
Dynasty Warriors.
But like the next game, you can probably scrub past. I don't think.
Monster
Was that
Hunter, not a fan.
Monster Hunter?
Yeah.
Are you a fan? I'm not.
Nah, never been into it. But here we go. This is a heavy hitter. This is what
This is what we
was
got. But
on
also,
my
just
wish
to
list.
go to Monster Hunter. I didn't know that Capcom made it.
Yeah, did you not know that?
No, I didn't know that. Anyway, the heavy hitter, what we've all been wanting, Lego Horizon Adventures. Do you think that's going to cover both games, being adventures, or have its own unique story?
I imagine it's its own unique story. But the thing is, you wouldn't know because who's actually played Horizon Zero Dawn?
I have not played it. Have you played it?
It is ass. It's just such a mate. It's the only way to describe it is it is the industry plant of video games. Like they push it so hard, but I do not know a single person that likes Horizon.
I think a couple of people in my chat may like it. I can't say. I'd say like maybe 90 to 95% of people don't like it. I say don't like it, just like I tried to play it and I was just
You
like,
always
oh,
get that 5% that have had brain damage. It's cool.
that's it. Just offend 5% of the viewers. It's fine. We're so sorry, but
He is.
I tried it and it just didn't work for me. It just felt like I was playing Far Cry, or it just felt like I was playing a game that I've already played. I was like, I can't really be bothered for this, to be honest with you. Like,
It's one of the ones where it's
it doesn't stand out. The story to me just wasn't compelling enough to keep me involved.
it seemed like a cool concept. Oh, you get like society's collapse, and now there's these like robot dinosaurs. Oh, that sounds cool. And then I played it, and I was like, but at the same time, it's like maybe I've just I'm worn out on open world games.
Maybe.
Because like, we'll talk about it as well, but like Ghost of Tsushima was the same, where it's like I don't want to play open world games. I've had enough. I'm done with them.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the concept didn't really tickle my pickle at the start.
I just
I
thought
went
it
in.
was unique.
I thought it was unique, but not for a good reason. I was just like, oh, fairs. But we're getting a remaster for the PS5 Pro, especially, of Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, it'll
Was it
shift some units.
7 years after it was first made? So it's crazy to think that within the same generation we're getting remakes almost, which is pretty laughable, I'd say.
It's
Give
one
us
of
some
the
new games.
See when they done Last of Us for PS3 to PS4 and they done Uncharted, it was like it makes sense.
Yeah,
Because so many
exactly.
people went from Xbox 360 to PS4, so they never got to experience all your Uncharted games, Heavy Rain, stuff like that, or the PS3 exclusives. So it made sense. But now it's like the PS5 is backwards compatible. I can put the PS4 disc in and it'll work.
Yeah.
Why do I need to buy this PS5 version, the upgrade? It's
Oh,
just
we've
easy
got,
money for them.
yeah, we forgot. If you've got the PS4 disc or version, you have to pay £10 to upgrade to the PS5 version, so it's not free either. And of course, if you want to buy it, it'll then also be full price.
And
So
just
that's
wait a
fine.
year and it'll be on PS Plus.
Yeah, it'll be
The
free.
extra. Mate, Horizon, the Forbidden West was on it like a few months after it came out, I think. Because I remember
Yeah.
seeing it and I was like, oh, this came on here quick.
Also, what a good lineup for the PS Plus monthly games in October.
I don't know anything about that Doki Doki Literature Club.
It's been on my list,
heard
and
of it.
like a lot of people speak highly of it, and I keep meaning to buy it. So I'm really glad that I've just been such a cheapskate and held off for so long, because now it's free.
I'm the same with WWE. Like my pal's been saying, he's like, we should like buy it. And I'm like, I kind of want to buy it just to play it. But at the same time, I've done the 2K22 Platinum. And that just
They're meant
ruined
to
the
be
game for me.
Yeah, meant to be brutal.
Just grinding the online matches over and over again was not fun. But I'll play the career mode. Dead Space was good, but I prefer the
I've not
original.
played it. It's something I'd want to play. So I'm glad it's becoming. I say free. It's part of the membership that I pay for, but I'll definitely take a look at it now, which is
Yeah,
pretty
Dead
sick.
Space is a good game.
Yeah, but
Also
this
done a
is
video on
why.
it back in the day. My
Looks like-
first 10-year platinum.
See, I knew that by me waiting out The Last of Us Part 1, like remake for PS5, like the price of it has always stayed firm at like what, 40 to 60 pounds. Like it's
Has
never
it?
dropped. Like it's never dropped like anywhere near 20. Like it's always been expensive. And I was like, I've played it on PS3. I've got the remastered version that you got with PlayStation Plus, which I've not played because once you've played a game once, I don't think you need to necessarily play it again if you know what happens, unless it's like an RPG. Do you know what I mean? That's a whole different topic. But I played it on PS3 and I was like, the remaster doesn't really do much. Like it's the same game essentially. And then I saw the remake part one and I was like, I'm actually interested in playing that one because it actually looks like a PS5 game now. Do you know what I mean? Like they've actually done stuff to it. So I've just been patiently waiting for it, and thankfully it is now on Outbreak Day, the 26th of September, which I don't know
Your
why it's Outbreak
patience has
Day,
paid
but
off.
my patience has paid off. And as well, we
That's
got a
when
little
the
announced.
outbreak happens in the game.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
That's why it's Outbreak Day.
But as well, we got the Last of Us 2 season 2 trailer today as well, which we should
Yeah.
have probably predicted. But
Mate, I'm super excited for it because
it looks good.
I watched like the first half of the season, and then it was one of the ones where I was watching it weekly, and I was like, I'll binge watch this at the end, and I just never went back to it. But to see the gay episode,
Yeah.
mate, that's one of the best like things I've ever
Honestly,
seen on TV. I was like, wow,
what a piece
I
of
was like
cinema.
blown away. Like this is cinematic
It was
masterpiece.
so good, and it was like you just knew that it was going to get hated online as well. And I was like,
Oh mate,
seriously, like cinema, pure cinema.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
But
I
it's
can understand how sometimes in shows it is frustrating when there's like filler episodes. Like The Walking Dead did it so much, and
Walking Dead was
I don't,
brutal.
I don't really care for online critics reviews. I think they're just so deluded anyway. But I could understand a valid kind of criticism being right. There's only what 6 or 7 episodes, and you've dedicated a whole hour to filler. It doesn't really add much to the world, which is an okay argument. But I mean, regardless, it was still really good. I enjoyed it, but that's the only kind of understanding I could listen to, I
I think
guess.
it's one of the ones where it's like people just want to be offended all the time, and it's funny because it's
Yeah,
like see like the what would you call it? Like the anti-cancel culture folk are the ones that get upset at everything. The ones where it's like everything's woke, and it's like they were going in on Ghost of Yotai, which we'll see in a minute, but it was like a female samurai. What the fuck? And I'm like, there was female samurais. It's a thing. Same with
literally.
Assassin's Creed
Yeah,
Shadows.
Assassin's
It's like the
Creed. It's got
black
a
samurai.
female.
He's a real guy. Like he's a thing in Japan. Like apparently there's like animes and stuff about him. Like
Yeah,
they've not just made it up. It's not as if they've went, oh, Abraham Lincoln, let's make him black. It's a real thing. Like, why are you
yeah,
getting
it's a
upset?
real. Yeah,
It's just
people
people that
just
make money getting mad at
yeah
everything, looking for an excuse.
like getting upset.
But
But I
anyway, as
guess
I was
well,
saying, season 2 comes out in January, which I'm excited for because I started this year off 100% in The Last of Us Remastered. So I'd done a grounded playthrough. That's how I started
nice.
2024. And I said to myself, 2025, I will start with The Last of Us 2. I'll 100% that. I'll do my grounded playthrough.
I've
And
never
season
played The
2 is
Last
coming
of
out.
Us. Never played The Last of Us 2, and
Isn't it very good?
the
I'm
reason
hoping
why
that I
is
change my opinion when I play it, but
yeah, I think spoiler alert, right? I'm not going to beat around the bush here. I think Joel dying is such a big thing, and the reason why I was excited for The Last of Us 2 was to play as Joel, because it's like playing Uncharted and Nathan Drake dies in the second game. I saw the leaks online, which were pretty brutal actually, and it did stop me from getting the game because I was like, oh well, if Joel dies within the first 2 hours of the game, I was going to get the game to play as Joel because I really liked his character and the dynamic with Ellie. So I didn't buy it essentially. I thought it was quite a slow start as well. I have played like
I thought it was
a
a
bit of the
super
intro.
brave move by them.
Yeah, I mean, I I like it as an adult. I think it's pretty cool. I think I'm going to watch the show, love it, wait for part two to become free on PlayStation Plus, and then give it a tester out because again, it's holding its price firm, or I'll wait for a sale. But I would be down to play it now with an open mind. I just think as a kid, like maybe what 16 or something, when The Last of Us 2 would have came out,
Is that when it came
it
out?
was I don't know when it came. I'm just guessing. I'm just blaming my ignorance on me sort of being a young
Can we get a
teenage kid
fact
and
check on that?
yeah, maybe. Let me see.
It came out 2 years ago, and you're like, when I was a kid.
Yeah, when I was a kid.
2020, it came out.
No way.
So when I was a kid.
No, no way. No. I'm in disbelief that The Last of Us Part 2 came out in 2020.
Yeah, I didn't think it came out that long ago.
I thought it came out in like late 20, like 17 or 18.
Nah.
What on earth? When did the first one come out?
Very end of the
2013.
PS3.
Came out
End of the
2013.
PS3's life cycle.
But the thing is with games though, back in the day, they used to be developed so quickly. Like you look at the Batman games, it was
I don't
like
think
2
it was
years.
developed quickly. I think it was just they get revealed a lot later as well. Like there
Okay,
wasn't
fair
like
enough.
mate, when did Elder Scrolls 6 get announced? Like 2-3 years ago? And it's
Yeah,
still
true.
that's a good few years off. We ain't seen it for a while.
Well, I stand by my point. My frontal lobe wasn't developed because I would have been what, like late teens, early 20s, 20 maybe. I don't even know.
21.
Wow.
4 years
Yeah.
ago.
Okay, I guess I was just such a Joel stan that I was just
Did your wee Joe Twitter fan page going?
literally. I think
Absolutely
as well,
heartbroken.
I would have been at uni during that time, so I did actually stop gaming quite a lot. But I think the only thing that I played was probably Warzone, and the Call of Duty campaigns. But they've What have we skipped back to? Are you skipping back to the Ghost of?
I've just
It's
paused
not.
it. I've put it back onto a 2-man screen so they can't.
Okay,
Because we were
2-man
just
screen.
looping the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
So I'll pull up Ghost of Yotai when we talk about it. But I'm looking forward to Last of Us. I'm looking forward to. Like I said, I never liked Last of Us Part 2. I thought it wasn't even that they killed Joel. I thought that was like really brave. Let's see it just come out the bat like boom. Main character, the guy you loved, is dead. I was like, ooh. I kind of applauded him for that. I
Yeah.
don't know how much about it saying spoil it for you, but it was gameplay wise. I always say the same thing. Gameplay wise, graphics wise, everything was amazing. Environment's just beautiful, but it's like see the main story plotline. It just never made sense to me. It's
Somebody
all
said it
about
was like written by a
revenge.
teenager.
Yeah, it just never made a whole lot of sense. I'm like, if you put me in these shoes, like I ain't doing that. I don't think anybody is.
Yeah, but isn't that? I'm aware of it. Like, doesn't she let the girl go
So it's
at the
like,
end?
so
But it's kind
she
of like the growth, though, isn't it?
major spoilers. She kills Joel at the start, so Ellie
Yeah.
goes and tracks her down, kills our pals.
Yeah.
Abby beats the shit out of her, says, "Don't ever come back here. If I see you again, I'm killing you." Ellie goes, "Cool, I'm out, peace." Heads home, and then when she's home, she's like, "You know what? I can't just let this sit. I'm going back and I'm getting her." So she goes back, tries to find her, eventually finds her. The two of them fight, and then Ellie wins. And then instead of killing her, she just lets her live. I
What was
said
the point
maybe
in
when I play it again in January, looking at it through different lens, because my pal Connor, he loves Last of Us Part 2.
that?
He thought
Yeah.
it was amazing, and I'm like,
I mean,
that's like one of the things we've had, like no arguments, but like kind of debates kind of thing over it.
it does sound like it should be really good, story wise. I think it's been spoiled so much, and obviously it got leaked so early. I feel like that's just. I feel like once you know something, you're not as inclined to play it through. Do you know what I mean? I'm just like, oh well, why would I pay £60 if I know X, Y, Z? And as well, it's a bit off topic, but there's like I say always, it was like on TikTok, and it was like a scene with Abby and some guy on a boat. And I've not played the game, but I think it's like
Oh yeah, she gets
a
fucked off him.
yeah, it's like a sexual scene, and I was like, I don't know why this is trending on TikTok, but it was like I don't know, I got very uncomfortable by
The
it,
thing
and
as
apparently it's
well,
meant to be quite disturbing.
was that a lot of people were saying that Abby was trans when she wasn't.
Right.
So they were like, "Oh, this guy's put trans porn in his video game. What a freak!"
Uh,
And it's like, because it's like kind of tall, muscular women. Like, mate, they exist.
yeah,
You
they
know what I
do.
mean? But it's the internet, so it's like if they ain't
Right.
feminine and banging
That was
tennis
probably
pens, it's a
what
man.
it was, yeah.
Yeah, so everybody was
But
saying she was trans when she wasn't, and she never like you play the game. Like at no point did I ever think she was trans or anything.
I always thought she was a lady. I mean, of course, she can identify as what she wants, but
And it's just people look, like I
yeah,
said earlier, looking for rage, something to rage about, get clicks. But that's what was going on at the time when it came out. Because I
yeah.
actually done a review on it. I think it's still on my channel. I think it's unlisted. and I remember mentioning that.
So, what would you score the state of play then? What are you? I feel like I've been overly negative about it. I hope you're more positive than I am.
Out of 10, I'd get like a 7. It's a bang
7,
average. Yeah.
a 7.
Yeah, how do you score stuff? Do you do 5 as like an average? I do
I'd say
7
four
as like
to
an average. I'm like,
four
I
to
do it a little
five
bit.
average.
Right, we do it at a 5-star because that's easier. I'd get like a 2.5, a 3.
No, no, no. I'm not saying like out of 5 star. Like out of 10, I would say average is 5.
Yeah, no, I was see when you see a video game review and it says 5 out of 10, that's bad.
Yeah,
If
it's
you see
just
a
mid.
7 out of 10, it's okay.
Serviceable. I think that's the lowest I'd place. 7 out of 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because
It's like a
it's
7 out of 10.
yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. Because it's like it's averagely good, but nothing exceptional.
It's not. I think they ended strong with Ghost of Yotai. I think they had to end strong.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously the biggest selling point, but I feel like Wolverine, right? That's been in
Spider-Man
development
2
for
DLC.
yeah, Spider-Man 2 DLC, but Wolverine, right? It's been in development for a very long time, and there was obviously a lot of the leaks that happened with Insomniac with the gameplay and stuff, and they didn't really say anything or really acknowledge it or do a GTA 6 and say, fuck you, here's a trailer instead, right? They were just really silent about it, and they still have been. And I think moving into the PS5 Pro, you kind of need to give people a reason to buy the PS5 Pro. I think if you've not got a PlayStation 5 yet, I think logically spending the extra £150, I think, however much the difference is, I
It's
think
a
it's
lot
probably
more than
worth.
that.
Is it a lot more? I think if you can afford the difference between a base PS5 and the Pro, I'd say go for it. But if you're an existing console owner, I think that you'll be fine. But you know, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth looked great on the base PS5. They did like the side by side trailers. I couldn't really tell much of a difference, and it's like Horizon. It's all of these games that we've already played on
So are you
PS4
going to
and
install it and
PS5.
play it again just so you can say that you've seen
Exactly. Give
this
us a
tiny
new
bit more
game.
detail?
Like it's really not hard. Like when is Wolverine even coming out? 25,
But things,
26?
see when the leaks happened, when they get hacked, like, I don't think we've heard anything from Insomniac since regarding either Spider-Man or Wolverine.
Yeah. Um, I feel like the Spider-Man DLC was a must. That's been
I'm
too.
honestly shocked that I think every single state of play I've went into this year, I've been like Spider-Man 2 DLC.
Spider-Man
We'll
2
see
is about
Spider-Man 2 DLC.
it's about a year old now. No, it came out in October last year, maybe. Is
Might
it
have
about a
been.
year?
It was last year.
Yeah, it was
Because
last year.
it won Game of the Year on Platin Adams thing.
Yeah,
Alan
yeah.
Wake
So,
2 was robbed. Robbed.
but right. So the game's been out over a year. They added New Game Plus, I think, earlier this year,
Yeah, I
maybe.
did another trophy, so they fucked up the 100%.
Right, and then they've been silent. Bad, real bad, real bad. Sony, real
I
bad.
just wonder if there's more to that hack than what got revealed as well.
Yeah, because as well there was that game, like the multiplayer Spider-Man game. Do you remember that?
I think that was meant to be
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2, is that what you're talking about? And then they get rid of it.
No, no,
Had
I
they
feel
not
like
originally planned on it being co-op? Or was that just
no,
rumours?
it was like an MMO, so it was like a multiverse Spider-Man game, but like using the Insomniac system, but like they scrapped it.
Oh, I think did that only get revealed like a week or two ago? Recently?
No,
I
I
think I
feel
seen
like
something about that.
it was like ages ago. I don't know if I don't think it got leaked. I think maybe do you know how people see the files of like what's upcoming.
Mm-hmm.
That's how like the rumor came out, and then like it got shut down, and they were like, "Yeah, we're canceling it." It sounded really good though. It sounded
That's
quite
the same with
interesting.
Last of Us factions though, the online, remember that? Get announced and they scrapped it. I was like, mate, I was super looking forward to that.
What are they? What
I thought it
are
would have been cool.
Sony?
Because
What
in my
are
head I
Naughty
was
Dog
like,
doing?
oh, it'll be like a hybrid between Last of Us and The Division. That's kind of what in my head I thought it would be.
That would be good. I feel like people would enjoy that, and now we don't know what they're working on. It's like things are getting cancelled, things aren't releasing DLC, and they're not really telling us. Like, name me a new PlayStation game that's coming out.
PlayStation exclusive?
Yeah,
Um,
you could say Horizon remake if you really want, but
think they not announced they're working on Last of Us Part 3? Like the script's been done.
Are they?
Pretty sure that's been. I don't think it's been not revealed at like state of play or anything like that.
But
But off
like
the top
they've
of my head, I
been
would struggle.
they've been silent. Like I know the Uncharted series is kind of finished, and
Yeah,
I
it's pretty
think
dead.
like it's in a good place, and I don't think I'd want to see it revived personally.
I
I'm
wouldn't mind
surprised
it.
it's
See
not
if they'd
been.
done the Brother.
Yeah,
The Brother for Uncharted 4.
I think it would probably just be his daughter, but I would then argue this is a Tomb Raider Lara Croft game at this point.
Yeah, especially the way Tomb Raider's pivoted and
Yeah.
changed to be more like Uncharted
Hmm.
with the new trilogy.
But yeah, so Last of Us is probably a given that part three or some capacity will happen, but again, not confirmed. We don't know what they're working on, right? How much did they spend on Concord? 400 milli?
300 mil.
300 milli? Like
Well, that's the rumor. It's one of the
the
ones where
rumor.
it's like Colin Moriarty, who used to be a podcast Beyond. I think he was, what was it called? He was like senior editor at IGN back in the day. And he is a pretty reliable source, but then there was also devs on Twitter saying that that's just like ridiculous, made up, like no chance any games ever had that kind of budget, like development budget.
Yeah.
But I'll share my screen because we've got.
But like thinking out right, the Last of Us game that got
Well, it can be
canned,
seen.
I wonder how much money got taken from that pot and poured into Concord, let's say, or something else. Because the money has to come from somewhere within a business. So this is the monies that it costs to develop game, including marketing, right?
Yeah, including marketing.
Yeah.
But you can see development here on its own. So like Cyberpunk was 103.6. And that's like, did we really think Concord was 3 times that budget?
Yeah, well,
Because you can't even say development time, because Cyberpunk was in development for a long time as well. I think Cyberpunk 2077 might have been announced before Witcher 3. Before Witcher 3 came out. But
probably, yeah.
Cyberpunk's been, I think, talked about for a long, long time.
But the one that's making me laugh there is just at the bottom, Spider-Man 3. So
Yeah,
I'm
Spider-Man
assuming
3.
it's not been announced, but assuming it's happening. I thought a Venom game would probably happen before them, or like a standalone DLC, but they're predicting it to be £385 million.
It's also inflation as well.
Yeah.
You got to
I
take that
don't
into account.
I don't think that Marvel Spider-Man's 2 reflects a £315 million game. Considering
Well, that doesn't split up the development and marketing. That's just the gross, I think, isn't it? It's just
Yeah.
total.
But again, let's say 200 million, right? It was like a really expensive game that they made, and I don't really see I don't want to be shot for this opinion, but the difference between Spider-Man 1 and 2. Like, I feel like Spider-Man 1 done a lot on a really tight budget, and then they got given a huge budget, and it's like, here's Peter Parker riding a bike in a cul-de-sac. Like,
But also, think how fast the loading times were in Spider-Man 2, how instant they were, how
yeah,
quick you could switch between the two characters. Whereas when you try and fast travel in Spider-Man 1, he's on the train for like a good, 30, 40 seconds, whatever it is, and just waiting. Also, the size of the map as well is a lot bigger. You've got that whole island on the right added in.
yeah. But
Also, how much faster it is with a flying suit.
Yeah, no, I think like the fast traveling though, right? That's the PlayStation's SSD. Like, I don't know anything about game development, but if that's already built in, I can't really see that adding much of a cost to the game. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's already there. Like, the PS4 physically couldn't do that, but everything on PS5 can. So I don't know. I just think it's crazy how expensive it was, and how expensive number 3 is going to be if they make that.
I think it's one of the ones where, in fact, I've just pulled up the report. It says 400 million. You were right. I thought it was 3. But
Well, for Concord, yeah.
Yeah, for Concord. But it's like, but also we don't have a clue about video game development.
No, of course
so it's
we
like
don't.
trying to talk about the cost. It's like,
We're just two bozos.
Just
We know how to make platinum videos, and that's about it.
Podcast equipment is too cheap.
Oh yeah, I can't believe they give idiots like us microphones to make a
You got
podcast.
a nice new one. I've got the old school Blue Yeti.
I do feel though, right? Obviously, we are falling into that niche of making a generic podcast. However, some people just shouldn't have podcasts. Like some of the things that people talk about is like I do feel like you need to get a license to make a podcast or make the microphones like 10 grand, so
Yeah.
people can't afford them because it is crazy. Like how many there are, and I don't know. A lot of them are pretty rubbish. I hate to say. I hate to spoil people's dreams. I mean, this could quite
And we're in
possibly
the
be
club.
rubbish.
And we will join that club.
I mean, if we market ourselves as like the worst podcast on YouTube, I think that's probably a good thing to have, to be honest. At least we're different.
Might as well go for it. The worst
So,
podcast. Don't listen.
what I guess to start closing off, then, what do we want from Sony? If we're saying the state of play was mid, right? I think it's fair to say it was mid. Ended strongly. What would we have wanted to see? What do we think they can do better? Maybe.
I still want to see Spider-Man DLC. I wouldn't mind seeing another Uncharted game.
Mm,
It's more just give me value from a PlayStation. Like, I've got
yeah,
my PS5. It's mostly PS4 games I'm playing on it, or games
yeah.
that are on PS4 and PS5, and the difference is probably not even noticeable between the two versions. It's like
I
there's not been any games that have come out where it's like, oh, this is a PS5 game. It's even something like God of
yeah.
War Ragnarok, which I haven't played yet, but it's like that was one of the
PS4 as well,
games where I
right?
was like, yeah, it's on PS4, but I was like, that
Yeah.
should have been like PS5 exclusive and just blow people away. But you can play it on PS4.
How long's the PS4 been out? Like almost 10 years, like 8 years now. Like it's been out a while, right? And the PS5's been out what 3 or 4 years?
2014, I think.
Like we're well into next gen, and I I don't say this from like a sort of a very prestigious point of view and like being a dick about things, but it is so disappointing when like I don't know, you see FIFA come out, you see the new Call of Duty come out, you see God of War Ragnarok come out, and it's like, PS4 and PS5. It's like the devs are being so limited to what they can actually do on a PS5 because they're still having to cater for a PS4. And
Mm-hmm.
we are kind of getting to, it probably should have been about 2 years ago where the end of life was for PS4, if we're being realistic, where they should start cutting games off. And I understand that not everybody has the money to upgrade and things like that, which I do completely get, but it's the PS5 doesn't really games load quicker and it looks pretty. I would probably still be happy on a PS4
Yeah,
if it
100%.
was like working quick. I guess it's just I don't know. It's I don't mean that from a bad place either, but it's you get really excited for a game and it's like, oh well, they're not really pushing limits. That's why I get excited for Final Fantasy games because they generally are breathtaking and making the most of the hardware.
One of the games that was like, oh, this is a PS5 game was Helldivers 2.
Yeah.
See, just playing it, I was like, you could never play this on a PS4, I don't think. See,
No,
well,
not at
the
all.
stratagems coming in, blowing everything up, and just the
So
debris
much,
everywhere, and how
so
nice the
much
game
going
looks
on.
as well.
It was so cheap as well. It was all like £35, like a great price.
25, I think I paid.
So
Was it 35?
ridiculous. Like it was so cheap for, especially when I expect every game now to cost 70.
Mm.
When it was 35, I didn't even blink. I was like, yes,
Yeah, it was like
this
easy.
could be awful, but it was a great game as well. But yeah, I I would like to see Naughty Dog actually pivot and make a completely new IP. And I think the one domain that they've not really dabbled in would be sci-fi. I
Mm.
think that there's a good kind of market there for Naughty Dog to put their stamp on a sci-fi based game. Um, I feel like they do it really well personally, and I feel like it's a genre of game that we've not seen for a long time, and I feel like it needs a bit of a renaissance. Like I think there's a new Mass Effect coming out, right?
Yeah,
Maybe
but
in
I
the
got
next.
announced ages ago, and that's we're still waiting
Yeah,
on it. We've
still
never actually
waiting on
seen
it.
any gameplay in. It's just
But like if you remember back to like I don't know PS3, early PS4, there was like a lot of games in space, right? Like that was the thing, like
Call of Duty was in
space,
space every year.
space, and then it everybody got sick and tired of it, and there was a gap in the market. It's like Ghosts of Tsushima, right? And how many games have been set in like ancient Japan, sort of following the popularity of that, and also the new Assassin's Creed game.
Mhm.
It's and even Souls-like games. There's becoming too many of them. Like I guess it's
I
the
think it's like game companies see when they're putting so much money in. It's like, do we want to risk this 400 million budget on something, or do we want to follow an easy formula that we know will make money? Then saying that,
yeah
although I was going to say they tried to copy like Overwatch with Concord, but they were about 8 years too late.
yeah. It's a weird one. That's the thing as well. People don't want that kind of game. Like touching back on what we said earlier about Call of Duty killers, right? We've got Call of Duty. As nice as it would be to have a different game that rivaled it, I think Halo was the only thing that could have
Yeah,
challenged
back
Call
in
of
the day.
Duty. And unfortunately, when they changed the studios to what is it like 4-3 or something, whatever the
343.
3-4-3, it completely tanked. Like it just went downhill. That was the only game that I would generally say would challenge Call of Duty.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
was like an
Battlefield,
actual debate back in high school. Was like you had the Halo kids and then you had the COD kids.
yeah,
There was like a difference between them. Whereas now it's
yeah.
just like everybody plays COD. Well,
I
not
mean, it's
everybody,
great.
but
It's great that everyone's kind of grown up a little
Halo's
bit.
on the mud.
It is in the mud. I'd hate to be a. I mean, I was a Halo fan on the 360, but I've not played anything since. I'd hate to still be a passionate fan and just feel so left behind with what's happening with it because it is a shame.
I think they had a wee bit of renaissance with the, what was the newest one, Infinite, when the multiplayer for that came out.
Yeah, it was really weird
Remember
because
that a
it
few
like
years ago?
yeah. The thing is though, I think it got released, didn't get received well. They worked on it, dropped more content, and it took off really well, and then they just abandoned it.
I think
So
it was when the
really
single player came out, was when the multiplayer went downhill.
right. Bizarre
I
one,
think.
very bizarre one. I'd love to go back and like revisit them though, and like play through them all. Because that's the reason why I brought the Series S was for me and my mate to play through from the beginning, and we played a bit of it. Played
Oh, the
like three
Master Chief
missions.
Collection.
Yeah, played 3 missions and just haven't been back since.
Just bailed.
almost need, almost need a pizza night and LAN party. You know,
Did we touch on PalWorld getting sued?
we didn't talk about PalWorld being sued. It doesn't surprise me that they're being sued though.
It's one of the ones where it's like, I've seen two different perspectives on it, and one of them they were talking about it's like, no, PalWorld just straight up ripped like assets from Pokemon and stuff like that. And I've not looked into it or anything like that. I don't know. I'm just parroting what I've been told. But it's like they
Yeah,
ripped assets, and it's like Nintendo's got a slam dunk. And then there's
I
other
mean,
ones where it's like they created this like mechanic in the game, which PalWorld's copied, and then after it's been copied, Nintendo's patented it, and they went back and sued them for it.
yeah, I don't know how PalWorld will pivot from this or what they'll do. It's, I mean, it's a weird one because when that trailer got shown, I was like, oh, is Pokemon coming to play? I know it'd never happen, but like the guy that you see looks like one of the trainers called Leon. Like, looks exactly very similar. One of the Pokemon that I mean, of course, all of the PalWorld animals look like renditions of Pokemon. They just changed something. So I was like, oh, I can see the argument, but I was saying to you offline about like in the fashion industry, you can literally change like a certain percentage of a design and you get away with copyright. I think it's the same with people's videos on YouTube. If I was to take your YouTube video, flip it, put a filter on it, put my face over it, you can't claim copyright as much as you'd like to. So
That's
it's
annoying. There's so many reaction like
yeah,
streamers nowadays, and that's all they do is sit and watch other people's
mm.
content.
It's like I
It's
get
mad.
both
Would you?
both
Do you
sides.
remember the guy got bullied off YouTube because he done that? Jinx, I think his name was.
I
Do
think
you
I've
remember
heard
that back in the
about
day? The black
I've
guy.
heard about multiple people getting bullied off the internet.
This
Sadly,
this was like say more than 10 years ago, and literally he would just watch a YouTube video and he'd just have the wee corner in the bottom left, and it'd just be him like laughing kind of thing and stuff like that.
mm.
And he kind of just got bullied off the internet back in the day. Whereas now it's just an accepted thing that streamers just don't even play games or interact with chat. It's just watch an episode of 60 Days In or whatever.
Yeah.
It's mental.
Yeah, it's a weird dynamic. I mean, if somebody of 1 million subs is watching your video, for instance, a couple of people would trickle through. So it's like you can see they are ultimately profiting on you or whatever said thing, which morally could be wrong because they're profiting from you, but then you also do see a bit of return and maybe popularity. Like look at the whole Pokemon thing of Logan Paul. I'm not saying that Pokemon was dead because it wasn't, but the TCG definitely saw a revival of people actually being interested in the game. Like I got interested in collecting cards again, sort of reliving that kind of childhood buzz, which is, I guess it is wrong, but it is what it is. I've stuck
Yeah.
with Pokemon since sort of the revival.
I remember getting the card game when I was in primary school, but I didn't have a clue what I was doing.
I remember playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I could actually play that one quite easily because it had like attack and defense. It was quite simple. Did you ever have the arm deck slider thing?
Nah, I never played what you call it? Yu-Gi-Oh! We played
I had
Pokemon, which I never knew how to play, and Beyblades. Remember them bad
Beyblades.
boys? Beyblades
Yeah.
were a business. I had the wee arena, the wee blue plastic arena you could put down.
Mate, mine got so battered with just scratch marks from Beyblades.
Mate, they were just
When
messed up.
some kid came into school with a metal Beyblade and just absolutely trashed everyone's, and I was like, "What has just happened to my prized
You just
possession?"
can't compete.
Literally. But no, yeah. If anybody's interested, the Yu-Gi-Oh deck slider that they'd all wear on their arms, it wasn't very practical because you'd put a card in, you'd move your arm, and they'd all tip out onto the floor. So it was
Wasn't it like
not
the anime?
no, it was not like the anime.
Bet you felt cool wearing it though.
Oh mate, I felt like the bee's knees.
Mate,
All of the girls were running away.
I bought the Fallout 4 collector's edition, and with that you get like a real life Pit Boy, and you stick your phone in it, and there's like a wee app you download. And
That's pretty sick.
I just remember I never used it once, but I just remember looking at it on my arm. I was like, £120 well spent.
Nice. Have you seen it where you can do it with like Apple Watches if you download like an app and it changes?
Yeah,
like,
I've seen that. They turn it into a Pit Boy.
Pretty cool, but drains the battery life, so don't bother.
Yeah. I prefer my old watches. I don't think I could get an Apple Watch.
Do you know what? It's one of those things where I feel like once you do it, you don't go back. Like, I brought one, wore it constantly for about 4 years, and then the job I was in, I was doing like maintenance stuff, and it just kept getting knocked on like metal beams and stuff. So the screen ended up breaking, and I couldn't actually unlock it anymore. It could only show me the time, and then eventually it just died. I got my money's worth, like 5 years out of it or something like that. And I thought, right, not buying one because I only used it to tell the time. I didn't do the James Bond stuff where I was speaking into it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
You didn't respond.
didn't
to
make the most of
text
it. But losing it and not having it and going back to a plain Jane watch, I was like, oh, here's a little bit convenient having it, to be fair, even though I don't maximize it. So I ended up getting another one, like probably about
just the
2 months
wee
after.
features made up.
Yeah, it just makes your life a bit more effortless, I'd say. But if you're in a happy bubble, don't change it, buddy.
I know. I went through like a wee watch collecting phase. So
Oh, is
I had
it?
like, a bunch of watches. Yeah, nothing
Nice.
expensive or anything like that.
What's like your most
was
prized?
it was an Omega Geneve. I can't remember what year it was, but it was like high 300, low 400 I spent on it. Something like that. That's the most expensive.
You think the price would have rose on it now?
I don't know. I think the older ones, they go cheaper.
Oh, really?
I think they go up in price. Yeah.
Quite strange.
Yeah, but I went through a wee watch collecting phase. Little fun fact.
Interesting.
Got a bunch of watches. I only wear the one watch all the time as well. So I've got like 10 watches sitting in a box. Never seen daylight.
10 Rolexes. YouTube be paying them bills.
Aye.
Do you know what I find?
Money rolling in.
What I find quite funny is in like the Call of Duty community, all the guys that play like Warzone professionally and do like tourneys and stuff. You obviously see them come through in filters of like the new guys, and like as soon as the new guys like start doing well and like getting like the tournament paychecks, you'll just see them go on a night out together, and they're just like Gucci, 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 Rolex.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, the paycheck definitely went there. Nice one, bro.
It's hitting.
But it's like a few years after they realise that that's just so superficial and whatnot, and it's like, oh, I probably should have put a house deposit. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but they're young kids at the end of the day. I was buying rubbish at 18, 19. I still buy rubbish now.
Everybody is.
So it's just a phase, mom.
Yeah, mate, the amount of money I've wasted. It's even on like Apex. Because see, during lockdown, that's what me and my pals played, was just Apex for the entirety
He's
of
an
it.
Apex boy. Oh, it's a Warzone boy.
May see the money I spent on that game.
Is Apex EA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's from the Titanfall universe. But mate, I
Yeah.
think we calculated it one time, and it was like over £600, £700 or something mental. Just a fuck ton of money. Because we used
insane.
to, what we'd do is like get paid, and then you jump on it, be like, I'll buy a few Apex packs, I'll buy a few. And then it's like you have a few drinks, and then it's like your pals are like, just buy the 10. Just buy 10 of them. Come on, let's see what you get. So I spent way too much money on that game. I don't even play it, mate. I've not played it in
Probably sell
2-3
your
years.
account.
Wish. I think it's linked to the EA account though.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the
lose
problem.
everything.
If it was like World of Warcraft or CS:GO, you could just auction it off, couldn't you? It's
I
insane.
mean, I wish, because I've got like heirlooms and stuff like that. Just get rid of them. Don't play the game. Mate, this just went so downhill. Used to
always
love
the way,
my
though,
Apex as
sadly.
well. Yeah, the thing with online games.
Except Call of Duty.
Call of Duty will be around forever.
Yeah.
They're the fucking cockroaches of video games. Survive a nuclear blast, that's all that'll be left. A wee cockroach playing COD.
What Call of Duty do you think we're on now? Like, do you think we've hit over 20, or is it high teens?
I reckon we've got to be near 20.
Food for
Was
thought.
Modern Warfare 2 8?
Nah, Modern Warfare 2 was 6, wasn't it? COD 6.
Oh yeah, because you had COD 4, then you had 5 World at War,
Yeah.
and Modern Warfare 2 6. I don't know.
I reckon we're maybe high teens,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. High teens.
edge in 20s.
Yeah.
Anyways, I guess we can do a bit of research and find out as a bit of trivia for next episode what Call of Duty we're on.
Yeah.
Call of Duty 6 may actually be out dependent on when the next episode drops. Actually, no, we should have one before then.
No, next one's the 10th, October 10th.
Okay, yeah, we'll be all good then. So, I guess if we start rounding up, I don't know how long we've been going on for. You've got the master timer.
We are 2 hours in, but we took a few minutes to start up.
Okay, cool. I mean, I
But,
feel like it's been a good length, to be fair, as a first intro episode.
Just a load of yapping.
Love
No
it, though.
sense of direction or nothing, just
Do you know what I mean? Flowed well.
ping pong.
Being good. Closing thoughts then. What are you... Anything that you're looking forward to happening between now and the next episode, whether it's a game that's releasing or a game that you've brought and you're going to play in platinum for like YouTube content, like what's going on?
I'm looking forward to Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Even
gonna
though I
play
shot
that. Yeah.
Sorry, Chris.
Trying what else? I played War Mongrels, which is a game. I don't think I talked about it earlier, but it's like I've got gameplay up. I'll pull it up. But it's like a real-time strategy kind of thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, you need to pull that one up, because trying to describe that to... Unlucky if you're just listening to audio, you won't... like, just watch the YouTube video. It's so much easier to understand.
So it's like a real-time strategy game. It's super similar to Commandos, if anybody played that back in the day. And it is solid. Me and my pal played it co-op together. I don't think I could play it solo. And we probably could have just used a guide and played through it easily.
Yeah.
But that's not satisfying. So we just smashed our head off a ball for a good 25 hours. And finally managed to beat the campaign. But we finished it at the weekend. And it was like, right, cool, we need to find something else to play. And released yesterday was 63 Days. And it is literally just the sequel to this. It's the same studio, the gameplay looks the exact same.
Oh, do you reckon you're going to pick up the new one, or...?
Well, we were saying about picking it up, but I can get it for free on Keymailer. I can get a code, but it just means I need to have a video on it or something. And then I'm like, I feel like a bit of a dick if I get it for free and then I'm asking him to put £30 in, because I don't think I could play it solo.
Right. Maybe just split it £15 each, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But also, War Mongrels is super hard, but I really want to go for the platinum, but I don't know if I'm good enough. Because it's like missions will last like 30 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like you need to play it on challenging difficulty, and you need to complete challenges, like never get spotted, never get seen throughout the whole mission. And it's like if you fail, you need to start from the very beginning again. And it's also kind of buggy. Yeah. So it's like you can just get absolutely fucked over, and then that's half an hour gone.
That sounds as bad as XCOM 2. Is it the Iron Man mode?
Ultra rare. Yeah, Iron Man mode on XCOM. You
Yeah,
can cheat that
nightmare.
though.
Oh well.
You can cheat
Boo.
the XCOM to platinum.
Boo.
I don't know if many people know that, but
I didn't know that. I see the percentage of it is still like
I don't
0.1% or
think a lot of
something.
people know about it.
And I
I've
don't,
never
how
done it
easy?
because I'd
How?
rather do it legit, but
Yeah, I didn't even know you could do that. I thought it was. Is it on PlayStation or is it just PC?
no, it's on PlayStation. It's on
Oh
PS4.
wow.
It's there's a bug you can do and it freezes the enemies so they never take their turn. So it just makes the game look comically easy.
Yeah, that'd be so boring though, wouldn't it? Just running
Yeah,
through the
fuck
game.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this
Anyway,
is
don't
it's
cheat,
just set.
kids.
Yeah, it's set during World War Two, and you just cut about doing stuff, killing Nazis. This is one where we've planted an explosive on his car, so it's like a Nazi general coming out. But the
Oh,
game,
he looks a little bit sick. Just vomited. Gonna have to
mate, he is
censor that out.
steaming. He is wrecked.
Is he gonna drive?
Well, he's got his keys,
Nice.
but you're about to see the car blow up as soon as he falls in it.
Oh
But yeah, it
wow.
was one of the games that was actually surprisingly really fun for as difficult as it was. So 63 Days came out yesterday.
I think it'd be
Debating
fun
getting it.
to watch a video on it. To be honest, like I don't think I'd ever play it because it's not really my cup of tea. But I feel like I'd enjoy watching a bit of somebody get into it sort of thing. I do like watching niche titles.
I think it would be fun to watch because it's just me staring confused. And that's thing, see, because
Really.
it was co-op, it was really good because it was like I'd kind of figure out most of it. I'd be like, this is like I've got a plan, like boom, 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 but it doesn't work. And then he'll like fine tweak it. My pal will be like, let's change this bit here, and then it works, and
Yeah,
it's like yes. Or else like vice versa, he'll come up with the idea, and then the animation style as well for the cutscenes was just. I don't know what type of animation style you would call it, but I was like, this is cool.
it's really clean,
Never,
whatever it is.
yeah, I never paid much attention to the story to be honest. It's about like a Nazi, um, realizing that he's like killing civilians and then like deserting and then helping the allies and stuff like that. But surprisingly good game. So the sequel for that came out yesterday. What I play that. But the physical edition comes out in a few months, so I'm like, do I wait and just get the physical version? Because I get the
Maybe.
physical version of War Mongrels.
What is it with physical copies taking so long to print now? Is it limited run that are doing it, or what's the
No, it's
dealio?
just there's loads of games because like I even looked up like we've got the recent releases we were gonna do, but I guess we can just skip that because I don't think we've played most of the games or know much about them. But there's like loads of games where it's like it releases and then months later. So it's like Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster
Mm.
that came out. When did that come out? The 19th of September. If you want the physical edition, you're waiting until the 8th of November.
I wonder how. Do you know how
It's
much the
just mad.
physical will cost? Is it the same as the digital?
I
Like
think it's the same
45
price. It was 55.
to 50? Oh. Yeah, no, because
$55.
I really regret picking up Lollipop Chainsaw and seeing how like good Dead Rising is. Like it's an actual remake, so I was like
Did you
really
play Dead
kicking myself.
Rising?
I played Dead Rising 2 back in the day, but not like I just played it as a kid to goof around killing zombies. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a franchise I would like to play because I love anything to do with zombies. So it'd be really cool to play. But I think maybe I'll just ask for it as a Christmas present because I was going to say Astrobot would have been a good Christmas present, but I just caved. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to try not and cave on Dead Rising and
Mm-hmm.
play what I've already got.
There's
I've got The Last of Us Part 1 to play, so I'll
yeah,
stream that.
I've got the PS4 version of Dead Rising one, so I was just like, no point in buying the deluxe remaster. The only thing with
Yeah.
the deluxe remaster is it makes one of the hardest trophies easier
Oh,
because
is it the
instead of having to
7?
wait, yeah, 7 Day Survivor.
Yeah.
So instead of having to wait the actual length of time, you can fast forward in game.
That's a
So
nice touch. Because yeah, I know. I think what was it? Snam has done it. Like loads of people have done it, and they're
I
literally
think a
just
few
sitting at
people.
their Xbox for like 14 hours, and it's like it's not just completing the challenge. It's the challenge of is your Xbox going to blow up and red ring? Because I'm sure that's happened to
Imagine
multiple people towards the
put
end,
your
which would
foot
be a
through the
nightmare.
TV.
Literally craziness.
But we can start to wrap it up. Upcoming releases in between now and our next episode. Predator Hunting Grounds. I know you love a remaster.
Oof,
Did you ever play that?
I did not. I funnily enough saw Platbro talking about playing that and sinking loads of hours into it. I didn't know it was getting a remake or whatever though.
Yeah, it's coming out the 1st of October for PS5. The original came out in 2020, and you would have got it for free on PlayStation Plus monthly as well.
Yeah, I think I've got it. Is the upgrade for free or do you have to pay for it?
90 pay for it apparently. But
Oh
it's
yeah,
at a discount, they said.
just like Horizon. Speaking of predators, not like that, but
Shout out Doctor
Alien.
Disrespect.
Alien vs Predator on PS3. I actually went back within like the last month. I probably should have spoken about it earlier actually, but I boosted the multiplayer trophies for that game. So I don't. It's probably a forgotten game. I think it came out in 2011. Alien vs Predator. It's got 3 campaigns on. Players
Yeah, you
Marines,
play
aliens, and
as each of
predators.
them.
But
Man, that's really
the
hard though, the campaign.
yeah. So I mean, the multiplayer stuff is brutal. Like you need to. You can actually glitch the XP by. Do you know what's it? A proxy server. You can join one of those, and it like takes you back to the base version of the game, and you can
Right.
like glitch XP in single player. But you need to get like 18,000 XP, and you get about I don't know, maybe 100 if you're lucky per game. So it takes a very long time to do legit. I've done about half of it legit, and then thought, trying to coordinate with other people is the nightmare. But you need to
That's
get
the
like
way Battlefield
wins.
3's been for me. See with the XP.
Nightmare.
Like it has
Um,
been you get 9,000 XP for like a regular game. And I think it
I,
was 40,000 I got when I went like 90 and 10 or something ridiculous. Like when I sweated and ran the fucking game.
Maybe we just get spoiled in modern games because they give us so much XP and like shiny things. Like
It just
back in the
pops up
day,
constantly.
just very tiny XPs.
Remember
But
how
yeah,
impressive it used to be to be like a 10th prestige on MW2
do you know
back
what?
in the
Bring
day?
back
That
the
was like a
level
no
up bar,
lifer.
the level up bar, and like the when you go up a rank
Mm.
as well. Bring those back, please. Inject it. But yeah, the touching on what you said about the Alien vs Predator campaigns, they are meant to be really difficult on the hardest difficulty. I think it's permadeath for like the chapter.
Oh,
So
just a chapter.
yeah, so I think playing the Marine one is the hardest one because they're like the squishiest in comparison to aliens. So I think I'll probably stream that on the channel when I end up going for that because that's all I need to do really.
Yeah, because I remember being back in high school and a guy like bragging about the fact he beat the game on the hardest difficulty. And that's like, mate, that's back then.
Yeah,
So
that
that's like
is.
my only like exposure to the game kind of thing. So it's
Yeah,
like,
I didn't even know why I had it. I had no interest in the series. I just don't know why, to be honest.
it's got to be
Played
an
it.
ultra rare plat though.
Oh yeah, it's insanely rare. Like insanely rare.
How rare?
I I don't know off the top of my head. It's very rare. It's a 10 out of 10 difficulty. So
Ooh.
my first 10 out of 10. I think that's just down to the multiplayer trophies being so hard to do though.
Mm-hmm.
I think the campaign obviously itself will be difficult, but it's probably more so the multiplayer stuff.
So
Yeah.
there's probably like a guide or like somebody that's done it that you can kind of follow in their
Mm,
footsteps. But same, see when it's like an FPS game, like when you're
yeah.
playing as the humans, that might get difficult.
Yeah. Probably yeah, it would do. Especially doing everything legit. Have you got any other notable new releases coming up?
Another remaster. You got Until Dawn.
Oh goodness.
That's releasing the 4th of October.
On paper I should love those games, but I don't know, they just don't hit the same like Heavy Rain and Detroit Become Human. They're just a bit meh.
Not feeling them anymore.
No. I mean I'd
It's
love
one of the
another
ones.
Heavy Rain or like one of those, is it Quantic that make them or
Yeah,
something? Like
Quantic Dream. They're working
I'd
on
love
Star Wars.
yeah, I'd love a game from them, but just the Until Dawn stuff, it's just I think as well to get the platinums, it's just so slow.
I get the
Like this,
platinum for The Quarry,
yeah,
and
the quarry as well.
it was
Nightmare.
not worth it.
I
It
feel like
put me
there's
off Detroit Become Human, going for that
Detroit
platinum.
Become Human's really good. It's not. I think the problem with those games is they play more like a film than a game, and that's their
Mm-hmm.
selling point. But I just don't think it works. Whereas at least with Detroit, it is actually still a game, and it's quite immersive. Like they've done it the right way around, like game with film elements, not film but plays like a game.
Yeah.
That's my take on it anyway.
So you won't be picking up Until Dawn on PS5?
Absolutely not. Can I tell you what I'm going to be picking up?
Go for it.
Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero. So
Ooh.
I think that's October 11th, maybe, or start of October sometime. It's very soon, and the child in me is so excited to have the game. It's literally got everything you could dream for on a next gen console as well. Like I think PS2 was the last time that we got a proper Dragon Ball game like this, so it's going to be so sick. And
So
if
what is it,
people are
like open world?
I don't even think it's open world. It's like a spiritual successor to like the Budokai. I don't know if it's Budokai or Budokai Tenkaichi series. So it's like it's not open world as such. You just play through the story pretty much and unlock characters as you go and like complete challenges. Like really simple stuff. Um, but they've literally added like 181 characters, so they've covered everything.
Damn.
And they're
They
doing
get the NPCs and everything in them. Random background
literally
characters.
even like Dragon Ball GT, which is a show that isn't technically canon. They've added all of the stuff for that in as well, which is sick. But if you know what Marvel What If is, where like
Yeah, I've
it's the
heard of that.
alternate timelines, the game allows you to do that and has planned out interactions between the characters on
Oh.
these different pathways,
So
which
like
is
Walking Dead Destinies.
kind of, yeah, hopefully a lot better than
I
Destiny's.
still need to
That,
play that game. I've got that planned for a video
bro,
that I'm gonna be doing.
it is bad, but I had a lot of fun with it, man. If you like The Walking Dead, you have a blast. It's it if as long as you know what you're getting into and don't pay more than £20 for it.
I got paid 18, like just under
Well,
20.
you're
Just
winning.
snuck under.
Yeah, I think I paid 20 or 25.
And then the last game coming out in between now and the next episode, which I was surprised by because I've not even heard much about it coming out this soon. Silent Hill 2 apparently comes out the 8th of October, which was surprising to me. I
What
didn't
is
realise it
it?
was coming out that soon.
What is it with modern games and not being able to master fog mechanics?
Oh yeah, I seen that tweet where it was like nobody's been
Yeah,
able to do it since PS2.
and I saw it. I saw the clips of it, and I was like, I don't know if we can post edit the tweet. Probably not. But shout out to whoever that person was on Twitter. Like, they raised a very good point. No, like it does look like. I think the Silent Hill franchise, right? Very interesting stories. It's a bit like Resident Evil.
Have you played
Um,
many of them?
I've not played any of them. I've watched like videos of the stories and like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's a
Mhm.
guilty pleasure because I just think it's really cool and it's like really twisted and all of the shit that happens. Like, is it 3 or 4 where it's like in the hotel room or in an apartment?
Yeah,
Some,
four's in your apartment.
yeah, like sick idea. I know it's probably not respected or liked as much, but anyway, it's like
I think
it's
four's
really
one of the
sick.
most liked.
Oh, is
Could be
it?
wrong.
Oh,
Yeah, I think so. It's
I
the newer
missed them.
ones. It's Homecoming and
Ah,
Downpour that are hated on.
but yeah, like they
So
always
that's when
seem
they went
sick,
more action.
but I'd never play them. And I saw the remake trailer, and I was just like, this looks so janky. Like this is meant to be a remake game, and if I was a diehard fan of Silent Hill 2, I would honestly just buy a PS2 and play it natively, or try to emulate it, because it. I don't know. The trailers weren't selling it. Maybe the game, because the geezer is a normal guy, so he is meant to be clunky and not trained in weapons, which is
Yeah, they're
cool and
always just a normal person.
like part of the charm. But I don't know. I feel like it's very risky when you're remaking games that old because the clunk and jank that works back then works, and then stuff now, our standards are so high, like so high. Like we are so lucky we're gaming. As soon as something plays a little bit funny or is slow, it's a switch off.
Yeah,
But
and it's
again,
all over Twitter just getting hated on.
yeah, that's another topic.
Do you think
Nostalgia, and
you'll pick up Silent Hill too?
I don't think so. I'd be open
No.
to being gifted it if anybody wants to.
If they want to send you a code.
Yeah, if they want
I
to
know
send
how
me a
I'll be
copy.
playing it. And I'll get hate for this one. I'll play it on the PS3, the Silent Hill
PS3.
Classic Collection.
That's quite
Press
expensive, isn't
version,
it?
by the way. Yeah. Oh, mate,
Press.
these are even more expensive. Look at this. Homecoming as well. This
This
is
is what
press
you.
copies.
This is what you call a real YouTuber.
This is flexing, is what this is.
It's literally. I don't even have anything on my desk to flex.
I had to pull it out there when we started talking about Silent Hill.
Got Infinite Warfare.
Ooh. The worst Call of
And
Duty of all time.
do you know what? It's actually not bad. It's not too bad so far. Advanced Warfare was worse. Skate 3. You can actually get the platinum for that. Fun facts.
Oh, did
No.
you finish that?
I've not finished it. I've not actually been on the PS3 in a while. Been quite bad when it comes to cleaning up games. I've just like with the Alien vs Predator game and Skate 3, I did all the multiplayer and I was like, right, done the hardest thing. Bit sick of it now. I'm just gonna chip away at the single player stuff because it's so long, as and when. sort of thing.
Yeah,
Just
that's what I'm going to do with Battlefield 3.
yeah,
I'm going to just smash out the online, and then in like a year or two's time, when I just need to do single player, I'll just smash through that.
yeah.
But that's all the upcoming releases that we've got in
All right,
between
I
now and
think
the next episode.
good stuff. Are we going to sign off then?
I reckon we start to wrap it up. We're definitely over 2 hours.
Yeah.
We're creeping in on 2 hours 20, which is, I think we said 2 hours max.
Yeah. Oh well, we got a little bit
Going
excited.
through it.
It's been good to talk, and
It's
hopefully
the first
everyone's
episode.
been listening this far in. I wonder how people are going to listen to us. Whether they're going to, listen to us at work, whether they're grinding a platinum, or
Got to be grinding away.
if they're going to bed, maybe. Because I feel like we've got quite soothing voices.
Some ASMR.
Some ASMR.
Ooh,
99,
you
folks.
Did way better. You did way better. But yeah, I think grinding away, because mate, I've got like loads of like just random podcasts that I'll listen to. Seeing it's like grinding away, getting collectibles, or just grinding levels. I'm just listening to the most random podcasts ever.
So I mean, it's good that the length has gone on for as long as it has, because there's nothing worse than a good podcast and it being so short. So at least we're a good podcast and we're going on for some time. And now we're just waffling. So
yeah, now we're just waffling. Let's kill this bad boy.
Yeah, the one thing I will say though is if you are watching, congratulations for making this far. And in the future of the podcast, I think we'd both love to bring guests on within any
100%.
community, but like the platinum hunting or Xbox trophy hunting or just any sort of our community that we're in. So if you've got any names of people that you would like us to bring in, and I guess it would kind of be an interview and just they would slot in with us, just waffle,
shit, chewing the fat.
Yeah, so if you watch this far and you want to see your favorite YouTuber, which obviously will be us two, but your other favorite YouTubers, literally, as I just comment our names.
Delete everybody else's comments.
Literally, but just let us know down in the comments who you'd like to see on future episodes. Of course, primarily just to get a base, it is just going to be us. You're stuck with us for a long time. We've commissioned at least 100 episodes, haven't we?
Yeah, we're in for 100 minimal.
Yeah, we're locked in, baby. But yeah, that's
I think that would be bi-weekly podcast, 100 episodes.
Probably 2 years.
Oh yeah, you're way better at maths than me.
I'm actually awful at maths. I always use a calculator as well, even to do simple things like 1 + 1. I just get a bit of anxiety.
Just
like,
to double check.
Is it actually 2? Is it 2? It kills me though, because sometimes when I'm out with like hospitality staff and it's like we're splitting a bill, and like no disrespect, like, I always do the same, but it's like a really simple like subtraction. It's like I think I went out and I paid a £20 deposit, right? And the bill was like 70 something, and I was like, oh yeah, I paid a £20 deposit, and you just take 20 away. And like I just saw the buffering go on in like the poor girl's head, and then she was like, "Oh yeah, it's X amount." And I was like, "Yeah, nice."
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, like I get it if it was a really obscure amount like 14.95. Please take that away from 67.86. You know what I mean? But it was like quick maths.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
Anyway, privileged position there too. I guess no basic maths. But I'm signing out. I've been Leon, aka Deathroff, and thank you for joining us today. That's all I've got to say. I'll hand over to you.
Yes, well, thank you. I don't know if you made it this far, or if you've just fell asleep, or just pulled your AirPods out and launched them and went, fuck listening to this. But if you made it this far, we appreciate you. And we'll see you motherfuckers in the next one. Much love. Peace.